morning. I'm Eric Reeser. For the first time since April 23rd, the New York Knicks lost a basketball game. Victor Wembanyama had 32 points and 8 rebounds to lead the Spurs past the Knicks 115-111 in Game 3 of the NBA Finals. It was in front of a sellout crowd of 19,800. Many paid the price of a house to get into Madison Square Garden. San Antonio makes it a 2-1 series in favor of the Knicks. New York's going to host Game 4 on Wednesday. In college football, the NCAA has filed an accelerated appeal on the injunction granted Monday to Texas Tech quarterback Brendan Sorsby. The injunction allows Sorsby to be eligible in 2026 despite gambling on sports. No word on when the NCAA's appeal will be heard. In baseball last night, the Yankees beat the Guardians 7-5 in Cleveland. Both teams are back at Progressive tonight at 6:40. As for the Reds, Cincinnati dropped their fifth straight, a 6-2 loss to the Padres in San Diego. Redlegs look to halt the slide tonight at 9:40. You can hear Reds Padres tonight at 9:10 right here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
Talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy, Austin Ward. My good buddy, Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Tiberi here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then
it's a rundown.
And then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a Tuesday edition of the program. Bo and the boys with you for the next 3. We got a lot going on today. At 9:30, college football pushes back in a big, big way on the Sorsby ruling for yesterday. That happened live on our show, and I think we did a decent job of trying to paint the picture of just how cataclysmic it was. But then the rest of college football and the people who cover it and the people who are in it said, hold my beer. And they went scorched earth on that ruling yesterday. We'll see if anything comes of it. 10 o'clock in homage of the news today that this will be Dom's last day at Channel 10 in a everyday basis. He'll be back in football, but it's his story to tell. So in honor of that, and since he is a 45-plus year Channel 10 employee, the 10 o'clock hour will be a lot about Dommy. We'll have him on for a couple of segments, 10:15 and 10:30. You have that to look forward to, which is night. That means The Real Truth will move to 11 o'clock, and then ESPN's Jeremy Fowler is going to join us at 11:30. He wrote the piece last week on the Browns quarterback situation with Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders. He made his bones covering college football as well, and my hunch is he'll have a lot to say about the ruling yesterday with Sorsby. We'll also go around the AFC North with Jeremy as well, so you have that to look forward to, which is very, very nice. I wanted to start here, though. The game was incredible last night. It was incredible. I watched it all the way. It was, 11:40 by the time it was done. I watched all of it. I watched the lead up. I watched most of the Inside the NBA show, most of the half hour of that leading into tip. I watched the starting lineups. I watched the buzz, paid attention online of everything that was going on in terms of the President of the United States at the game. And all of a sudden, now there was massive security that they weren't intending for. But it seemed like everyone was in there on time. The crowd was hyped. It was jacked. It was star-studded. It's as star-studded a crowd as I've ever seen. There might be some that are more. I'm sure Lakers had some that was close. But it was right there. In terms of that. And it delivered from an atmosphere standpoint on all of it. I was texting with several buddies last night about how they had chills with the starting lineups and the players running out. And if you're watching in the pregame of this last night and think about Chuck and Kenny and Shaq and Ernie and how long they've been doing this, and this is their first finals. They'd never previously done a finals because TNT never had the rights to the finals. And as the Spurs and the Knicks ran out, Chuck, who's been doing this for so long and is one of the 75, 50 best players of all time, he said he got chills when the two teams ran out. There was something very visceral about the start of that game last night. And then the two teams delivered. It was a spectacular game. But it did get me thinking a little bit. New York is a C&B scene, fine dining, fine experience club town. It is the city that never sleeps. If you owned a restaurant, and let's say it's the restaurant in New York City, and I don't know if it's Le Bernardin or whatever, Gramercy Park, whatever it may be, whatever that is, and you've got one table left with 4 seats, and every celebrity who was at that game last night shows up at your door, who are you giving the 4 seats to? Who gets those 4 seats? Because there were people, there were pictures last night of the last time the Knicks were in the finals, and it showed some of the celebrities that were courtside then in 1999. Ben Stiller was courtside in 1999. Spike Lee was courtside in 1999. John McEnroe was courtside in 1999. Those guys were there. Now, I don't know in terms of the rest of them. Those are the images that I saw. But there were probably, from an A-list standpoint, just sports and entertainment celebrities, were there 20? 25 A-list?
At least. I mean, it took them a good 10 minutes to properly get to all of them in the pregame. It's probably the group of Derek Jeter and Eli Manning. I think they were sitting together because that's 6 championships between them.
Has Jeter got 4?
I think, does he have 4 World Series?
I think that seems right.
But I was thinking probably
Eli with
that
2.
Spike Lee is probably the most famous celebrity there. And I think you might want to give it to him out of respect for his service.
He's certainly the most famous celebrity Knicks fan. He's certainly
I was wondering that, too. Like, I know, I mean, he got game. Inside Man, I thought is great. Did the right thing. But I wonder how many people nowadays just know him because of his celebrity status as a Knicks fan, more so than acclaimed director.
Oh, I think probably most kids like my age would. I knew him first because he was Mars Blackman on the Jordan commercials when I was a kid. That was my first introduction to Spike Lee, not Do the Right Thing.
I think for me last night as a sports fan, I don't know if it would get better than Jeter, Manning, and Patrick Ewing.
Well, you got Walt Clyde Frazier there, too.
Yeah, that's a good one, too. But that was a little before my time.
It was.
Patrick Ewing was right. Like, all 3 of those guys were in my time. So I think right there. It's also, I mean, say what you want about politics or whatnot. It's also hard not to go past Donald Trump because, like, Donald Trump was a huge celebrity before he even became president.
Oh, yeah.
He's the president of the United States now. Like, it's tough to deny him a seat at the table.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Dylan Gonzalez telling me 5 for Jeter.
Yeah.
You could also go the biggest A-list comedy. I mean, you just think of this. Like, if you just wanted to laugh, just think about that. If you just wanted to laugh, LD is there. Chris Rock was there. Mm-hmm. Tracy Morgan was there. They were all there. You're not going to do a whole, and you could do Ben Stiller as your 4th. You're not going to do a whole lot better if you just want to laugh than those 4. Like that's going to work. I mean, it was everybody. By the way, like, McEnroe would be pretty damn good.
I was just going to say, bad job out of me. McEnroe's got to be at the table.
Well, he would be, because that's the other thing. Like, you don't want it to be boring. You need somebody who can tell some stories. I don't know. Is Derek Jeter particularly interesting? Sorry, Dylan. I know he's clutch, but is he particularly interesting?
Maybe just it is in an intimate dinner situation.
Yeah. I have no idea. I've never heard him say anything interesting ever.
Does he give the table gift bags, though? Because that might be worth it.
He's picking up the tab.
Him or Eli. I mean, there's
Jeter.
a lot of money there.
There's a ton. I mean, if you're asking
who
me,
were the wealthiest people that were there? Bloomberg was there. Trump. Bloomberg, Trump.
I mean,
Bob Kraft.
Jimmy Dolan's doing pretty well.
James Dolan. Bob Kraft was there. LD's probably on I don't know if he's worth $1 billion, but it's got to be close with Larry David. Got to be pretty close. There's probably people we're missing, too. We haven't even mentioned Chalamet, who's the best actor on the planet at the moment. He was there. Did not bring the Jenner. Kylie was not there.
That's probably why they lost. First time since April 23rd, guys. The heck? She's been to all the wins, never been to a loss.
You could. How much of the pregame did you guys watch? Any of the Inside Guys?
8 o'clock on.
Yeah.
I had a dinner last night, so that I saw a little bit of the end of this, and then a little bit of Inside the NBA after. But
they do such a good job.
They were amazing. I don't know why Draymond's there. I have no idea why Draymond's there, but they were incredible. And the thing that I thought was so cool, and in a way this ties in a little bit with Dami coming up and as we celebrate him in the 10 o'clock hour, I think it's just remarkable what sports can do for you, even if you are used to it. And you could think of the things that Ernie Johnson has been at in his life.
Yeah.
Think of the sporting events that he has been at in his life over a career that spans 50 years. All the way back with his dad and everything in between. Just think about what he has seen in his life. Think about the places that Charles Barkley has been in his life. Think about the events that he's broadcasted from. Think of the events that he's participated in. Same for Shaquille O'Neal, my God. Just, it's staggering, right? Every single one of them in the lead up, in the 5 minutes before they tossed to the game broadcast, every single one of them, the energy in their delivery was palpable. That's what is so great about sports. That's what still lands. That after all these years and you get numb to all this other stuff, when you are at a big game on campus, and that big game on campus last night was at Madison Square Garden, you feel it. You feel it. And it comes through the television, and when you're there, there's an electricity to it that is very difficult to possibly wrap your head around. And then the game delivered as well. And we can get into that coming up next. You got a series on your hands in a very, very big way. Coming up at 9:30, holy smokes, did things get quite serious on the NCAA side of things with football. We'll see if anything comes of any of it. We'll get to all of that. And, of course, at 10 o'clock, we celebrate our good buddy, Mr. Tiberi. We're off and running on a Tuesday. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Common Man and Timmy here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Oh, Common Man, we got lots of exciting things this month.
That's right, like the grand opening of the new hotel so you can stay and play.
Plus, we got lots of great entertainment lined up now through October. We got the Hollywood Tribute Band concert series, from the timeless magic of the Beatles to the fire and swagger of Johnny Cash.
And don't forget about the $250,000 Sweet Spins drawings on Saturdays through June. You can win $250K cash or a 2-night package at the new hotel.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
The lot is full and the deals are on.
Let's get it started. At Lindsay Honda, we're kicking off the summer by giving you cash for your clunker. $3,500 minimum guaranteed for qualifying trade. Trade up to a new 2026 CR-V LX all-wheel drive CVT. Now just $339 a month, or just $259 for a new 2026 Civic LX CVT.
Let's get it started.
Cash for clunkers is back at Lindsay Honda. Visit lindsayhonda.com for details.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet store, and my journey continues. No more agony of defeat. Already this season, I've walked 18 holes twice and lived to tell the story. My personally fit arch supports go where I go. And in this case, right into my shoes, all of them. I just pop them in any pair and off I go. Just having that support and the stability has made a world of difference for me. A while back, I walked into the Good Feet store and walked out with an entirely new outlook. And I knew it right away. After taking the test walk around the store, I felt the difference. And not just that cushy feeling. I'm talking about real support, the kind that makes you feel aligned. For more than 30 years, the Good Feet store has helped thousands of people discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. I experience it daily. I really feel my personally fit arch supports guide my feet into their ideal position. You can make an appointment online or just stop into the Good Feet store in Grove City or on Polaris Parkway in Westerville. Get started at goodfeet.com.
The weather in Central Ohio just got better, so why shouldn't your loan rate? CME Federal Credit Union wants to try to beat your current loan rate by 2% on autos and toys. Plus, no payments for 90 days on car loans and 60 days on motorcycles, boats, and more. Go to CMEFCU.org today.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Sleep Better Columbus has been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results and now has an office open in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Call today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you want and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, foreclosures, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Call today and speak with me, John Kozik, for an all-cash offer and the help you need. At 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000, TurboTrackRealty.com.
T-Bone and Tybus is sponsored by Capital Ford of Columbus.
They deserve to be there. They dominated in this game. It was an old-fashioned Joe Jackson butt whooping. Well, true enough.
Mornings on the Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see scattered showers and storms today, otherwise mostly cloudy skies and warm and muggy with highs in the low 80s. For tonight, we'll still see a chance of showers and storms linger, overnight lows right around 70 degrees. And then for Wednesday, the best chance of showers and storms will be earlier in the day, otherwise turning partly sunny, hot and humid with highs in the upper 80s and feels like approaching 100 degrees. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Miss a little, miss a lot. Catch Bishop and Friends wherever you get your podcasts. It's free.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
The Fan. Bo could quit today and become the school drop-off line coordinator. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed you are, and when you've been around as long as I have, you learn a few things. I like to think I know a little bit about this, but for pests like ants and termites, it's not for me. Man's got to know his limitations, so I turn to my friends at Rose Pest Solutions. Over 165 years of experience, they've mastered their craft as the nation's oldest family-owned pest control company. The pros from Rose protect Columbus homes and businesses with expert pest prevention and treatment. Got a pest problem? Rose is the solution. Call 800-966-ROSE or visit rosepestsolutions.com. We did miss one from the billionaire standpoint at the game last night with Jay-Z. So we missed on Jay-Z. Jay-Z would be at that table, too, of the wealthy. There could be guys there we don't even know about, too. A bunch of hedge fund guys we don't even know about that might be worth a lot more than all those cats we mentioned. A little bit of breaking news on the NFL. The Cleveland Browns announcing in conjunction with Joel Bitonio that he is retiring from the National Football League. I think you could have probably saw this coming a little bit. We knew that this was kind of heading in this direction, certainly with Joel. He is a two-time first-team All-Pro. He is four-time second-team All-Pro? The resume is pretty dang good when you think of it. Seven-time Pro Bowler. He was part of some of the best offensive lines in football. And for me, not just in play, but also in personality and in quality of character, Joel Bitonio is kind of the connective tissue between the current Browns and Joe Thomas. He was the next Joe Thomas. That's exactly what he was in terms of, and he damn near may be a Hall of Famer. He's right there. He's certainly a Browns Ring of Honor guy. He's going to be a borderline Hall of Fame guy. And the way that he went about his business was just so professional, so kind, so top shelf that to me, it was just a natural passing of the torch from Joe Thomas to Joel Bitonio, that those two guys are kind of, and they're thick as thieves. And I know that Joel talked to Joe a lot in terms of if he should continue to play. He clearly has the ability to still play. I kind of had wondered hadn't heard from him since the season was finished, and I was kind of curious if he was going to, scratch that itch maybe with one of the West Coast teams, with either the 49ers or the Rams, and maybe chase a Super Bowl with them. He lives out in Southern California. He went to Nevada, West Coast. That type of offense is one he thrived in, the type that Kyle uses, the type that McVay uses. He thrived in those types of offenses. When he was with Cleveland, it would have been kind of a simple thing for him to play there. But I think in the back of his head, he just always wanted to be a one-team player. And so he will be, as that retirement is now official. You guys both Browns fans?
Yep. Yeah, he was, you mentioned Joe Thomas, like Bitonio, also an Iron Man, played at 1,681 consecutive snaps from 2017 through to 2023, 102 consecutive starts, 178 total starts the course of a 12-year career. Yeah, he has a really nice opinion, or it was a really nice piece up at clevelandbrowns.com. It talks about when, the Browns clinched the playoffs, and he had thought in the seventh season he'd made it. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to go back and tell him what would happen after that, but that's kind of life, right? With how things can happen in the blink of an eye. But just one of the great people that's been in this incarnation of the Cleveland Browns since returning to Cleveland. And certainly, like you said, a Ring of Honor guy. Zion Johnson's got some big shoes to fill.
Very.
This, it almost makes me, as a Browns fan, sick to my stomach that they had those two guys on the offensive line, Joe Thomas and Joel Bitonio, that are two of the best to ever do it at their positions. And the Browns have nothing to show for it, and those guys have nothing to show for it as well as far as the team's success. And that's a little bit of a bummer. And we've talked a lot about Browns and their legacies as Browns. Mm-hmm. Joel Bitonio, Joe Thomas, to me, are all-timers.
Yeah, I think they are. And I think, and both of them would agree with this. It also speaks to how important the quarterback position is. That really, for the better part of, Joe Thomas is drafted in 2007. So for the better part of 19 years, you could wake up, look in the mirror, and say the Cleveland Browns have a top 5 offensive line for most of 20 years. Because it's not just those two. It's Mitchell Schwartz. It's Alex Mack. It's Wyatt Teller. All of those guys had varying levels of Pro Bowl, All-Pro, Jack Conklin. It's a ton of them. You could argue that, and I think with a very straight face, that for 20 years the Cleveland Browns had a consensus top 5 offensive line in football for 20 consecutive seasons. And they have one playoff win to show for it. If you don't have the quarterback, none of this matters. None of it matters. So anytime somebody talks to me about, you got to take offensive line high, do you? I don't know if you do. And I love these two guys. Like Joe, very personally. And he's maybe the greatest left tackle, him and Munoz, greatest left tackle of all time. And he'd tell you this. I can only do so much. There's only so much I can do. If the guy throwing the football and making the calls at the line of scrimmage isn't up to, at least in the vicinity of my level, then there is a diminishing return on what you're going to get out of me. And that's kind of the reality of this. And to me, I think what you just said there, Bake, is a perfect articulation of why, if you don't have the quarterback, none of the rest of it really matters. You can have the best offensive line, and they did. They had one of them for 20 years. And next year it's going to be all new. All new offensive line, 5 new starters.
So the announcement, coincides with mandatory minicamp starting today?
Yeah, it starts today. So he'll have a press conference at 11, and then there will be mandatory minicamp starts at 1. So they'll have today, tomorrow, Thursday up there. But it'll be all new faces. Wyatt Teller's in Houston. Joel's retiring. Jack Conklin is... I'm not sure where Jack is. Has there been anything official on him? I'm trying to remember. There's been so much going on this offseason. I know he's not back. So it'll be 5 new starters on the offensive line. I think they hope that DeJuan, in a perfect world, they would have hoped that DeJuan could have elevated, but he can't stay healthy. And so they're starting over at tackle, starting over in the interior. So this will be an entire new offensive line for them. And kind of the first time certainly the first time in 20 years that they don't have somebody who played with Joe Thomas on that offensive line.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Conklin's been signed. I mean, he had a concussion late last season. So either looking for a job or probably calling it quits. But it's kind of wild to see. It's kind of wild to think about what you just said with the Cleveland Browns for the first time in a long time, throwing out a completely retooled, revamped line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And nobody who has, and it's not just those guys. I mean, they're like John Greco. They had so many guys who were just great dudes who did their jobs well, and so many guys who were all kind of linked together. And Joel was kind of the last of that. So that press conference will be at 11 o'clock, and then they will start mandatory minicamp. 3 days of it. Full team will be there and expected to be there for the 3 days of mandatory minicamp. We were talking about Game 3 of the NBA Finals before this breaking news with Batonio. As I'm watching this thing last night, I'm pulling for the Knicks in the biggest way. I don't know how this has happened. Just organically, it has. And I think the other thing that kind of cemented it last night for me, guys, I feel like if the Knicks don't win this one, they're never winning it. That this is their one window to get San Antonio young. It's their one window to not have to deal with Oklahoma City. It's their one window to not have to deal with a completely whole Boston Celtics team. They're on an all-time heater before the loss last night where they hadn't lost in 2 months. And it feels to me like now clearly all of the pressure is on them to win Game 4, all of it, and then potentially get a Game 5 where you could clinch it. But if the Spurs win Game 4, then it's hard for me to see them winning 2 out of 3. San Antonio was fearless last night, completely fearless. Castle, Wembanyama were unbelievable in this thing last night. Castle especially, just fearless. And then De'Aaron Fox hits a shot that iced it. And it was riveting. It was incredible basketball all the way through. But I just got the sense, and when it was over, thinking, even though they won the first 2 games in San Antonio, that the Knicks, this is their spot. And if they don't win this one, they might not get another crack at it.
And it did, for one game, New York came down to earth in terms of their perimeter shooting, 13 of 37.
Yeah.
The first time in a long time, it feels like, where they weren't able to hit every single shot. And I think you're right about the Knicks. Like, they have to do it now because whether it's Boston or whether it's the other team Giannis ends up at, it's not going to be New York. So even getting out of the East doesn't feel like a guarantee anymore for this New York Knicks squad. So, yeah, this is what you ask for, though, if you're a casual.
Yep.
You get a 2-1 series, Madison Square Garden Wednesday night, and when things go back to San Antonio, it becomes a 7-game series.
One of my complaints with the NBA in recent years has been that it sure seems like these guys don't really try. It seems like there's a lot of times during the basketball game where guys are just out there going through the motions. I also understand this is the NBA Finals, but I don't think you ever have to worry about that with this New York Knicks team.
No, you don't.
They seem to be going hard all the time.
No, and I think really this has been a treat because I think OKC, the San Antonio was like that. Those games were all electric factories. And so far through 3 games, this has. And it's captured people's attention. I mean, you're seeing it with the ratings and the amount of people that are watching it. So it's delivering. It's delivering in a very, very big way. And now the next time you'll see it, it'll be a massive Game 4 in New York with all of the pressure on the side of the home team. Coming up next, this broke during our show yesterday, the Brendan Sorsby ruling. There are so many things that I can't even. Tracking down fact from fiction from this is so crazy, like the story of the judge who hadn't been on the bench in 12 years, brought in to rule, like all of this stuff. Who even knows? What I do know is that college football pushed back in the biggest way that I've ever seen it push back. Will anything come of it? We'll get into it in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Family owned and operated. It isn't all sunshine and rainbows. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Here's something you don't hear admitted very often. When you run a business with your family, you don't always get along with them. We argue, we debate, we have real conversations about the decisions that we make. But at CARE, every conversation comes back to our priorities, doing right by our employees and our customers. Because when you treat your team like family, they take better care of the families they serve. And when you treat your customers the way you'd want your own family treated, trust follows. That mindset doesn't always maximize short-term profits, but it builds something better, long-term relationships. Today, more and more local companies are being bought by venture capital firms, where maximizing profits often leads to a sales-first mentality. CARE is still family-owned and locally operated, so we can keep people, not profits, at the center of every decision. CARE Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
Experience the adrenaline of Barrett-Jackson in Columbus, June 25th to 27th at the Ohio Expo Center and State Fairgrounds. See hundreds of no-reserve collector cars cross the auction block and sell to the highest bidder. Take in the lively exhibitor marketplace. Engage with interactive sponsor displays and enjoy a wide selection of food and drink options. It's an exciting, high-octane event for fans of all ages. Advance tickets on sale now for the world's greatest collector car auctions at Barrett-Jackson.com.
Everyone needs to take care of their mental health, even running back Bijan Robinson.
When I'm on the field and feeling the pressure, I usually just take a deep breath. When I'm just breathing and seeing what's in front of me, everything just slows down. It just makes me feel great before I run the play.
Just like Bijan, we all need a strong mental game on and off the field. Make a game plan for your mental health at loveyourmindplaybook.org.
Love your mind.
Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Foundation, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
What's up? What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Apex Pros. The pros who knows.
All right, here's what's up on a Tuesday edition of the program. Yesterday during our show, the news broke that a judge in Lubbock County, Texas, ruled in favor of Brendan Sorsby against the NCAA, issuing an injunction that would allow for him to play college football in 2026. It is an injunction that includes him missing 2 games, suspension of 2 games. The ruling was one that was done, obviously, by a hometown judge. It was one that shocked me in real time, shocking. One that I was dead wrong about from the standpoint of this was the one thing. And this is the one, the thing that's crazy about the gambling part of it is you can quite damn near do anything else. You can do anything else that doesn't land you in a penitentiary, and you can be okay to continue to play athletics. You can get second chances. Sometimes you can go in, do the time, and come back out, and you get your second chance. Gambling in every sport in the world is the one thing you can't come back from. And I don't care if you're playing Premier League soccer. I don't care if you're playing cricket in the Far East or India or wherever that's at its peak. It doesn't matter. If you do this, you're done. And we have incredibly famous cases of this in Shoeless Joe Jackson, in Pete Rose. Even less famous issues of this with the CCNY scandal in college basketball in the 1950s. We have this. We have an NBA champion and great in Chauncey Billups who is going to do time in federal prison for this. This is the one thing. We have 2 pitchers from the Cleveland Guardians who are, where are they? Are they imprisoned, Reese? Where is Clase? Or is he on the lam? Where is he?
Not on the lam. I think both of them are they're out on their own awaiting trial.
This is the one.
And Ortiz.
Well, I mean, yeah, get them in front of a judge in Lubbock.
This is the one thing, though, guys, that you can't come back from, except in college football, apparently, with a hometown judge. It's the one thing.
The all-time hit king in Major League Baseball is still not allowed in the Hall of Fame. Still.
No. Even posthumously.
And the judges, like, the reasoning for granting the preliminary injunction was wild, where it would cause irreparable harm if he couldn't participate in college football this season. It's like, well, those are the consequences of his actions, man.
Nobody did it to him.
Sending anybody to jail would cause harm to somebody, or at least would be harmful to somebody because they're in jail.
I wonder what that judge thinks about him doing this while underage. Why didn't you say anything about that?
You know, Bake, you've been on that for a couple of weeks on this, and nobody else really is talking about that side of it, that he actually has broken the law.
Yes.
Like, forget the rules. Like, he broke the law, too. He's underage gambling.
We can say all we want about, if you feel this way, the hypocrisy of the NCAA in dealing with these players gambling while taking money from gambling websites. But to do it legally, you have to be 21 years of age, and he was doing this when he was not 21 years of age.
Yeah.
So that means multiple people were doing things illegal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's staggering. And it was, it's something that, in the conversations that I had with folks off the record from the NFL side of things, the consensus was zero chance he ever plays college football again. Now, there was a varying opinion on if the NFL would suspend him or not for what he had done. There were certainly some that I had talked to who covered the league who thought, yeah, the Terrell Pryor precedent, the Jim Tressel precedent that was set with the penalties from that all those years ago, which is obviously just silly in comparison to this, that there is precedent for that. But talked to another prominent NFL figure who said no, that this is a different NFL with a different CBA, and that they wouldn't suspend him for something that he did not do when he wasn't in the National Football League. So there was some varying degree on that. But the one thing that there was no varying degree of opinion on was the belief, 100%, that he was done playing college football. Now, there's two kind of parallel lines here of conversation. The idea that this isn't going to be penalized, and the story that kind of runs with that, and some of the things that we're going to get into in terms of conferences and the pushback and the NCAA's pushback and what to do with scheduling. Then there's another kind of parallel line that is, and this is kind of piggybacks off the other one, which is, well, should Texas Tech just not accept this? Should they not play him? Should they do the right thing and say, actually, we can't do this? Should the Big 12 lean on Texas Tech to say, dudes, what are you guys doing? You can't do this. There's that side of it. And that's something we're going to get into, too. And then the third side of it is Brendan Sorsby, the human being, who has an addiction problem in a very, very big way. He bet, according to some of the stuff here, about $90,000 over all these years is what he bet. And he bet on just absolute nonsensical things. Just European basketball, Korean baseball, just nonsensical stuff. Just peanuts bets, too, a lot of them. So he's got an addiction problem. And before we get into those other two parallel lines, one thing I would just want to say on this is, I don't think that this guy has to be the villain of college athletics. There are a ton of college athletes who have done awful, brutal, violent things who get to come back and have second chances. He didn't do any of that. He has an addiction problem. He broke the law. There are consequences for it. I don't think he should ever be allowed to play college football again. But if he is allowed to play college football, this guy did not do a capital crime. We have guys who have played who did those type of things, who hurt people, and they get a second chance. And so I'm not really for him being the villain of college football. I'm not for that. You guys may differ. For me, I can't get there. He's got an addiction problem. He did something he knows he's wrong. There's a penalty for it. He's going to pay the price. But I don't need him being the face of vitriol for all of college football.
Yeah, so as it stands, he's going to play their Week 3 game against Houston. That'll be a Friday nighter, and that'll be a primetime game. And I think, like with Draymond on the NBA side of things, people are going to tune in because they want to watch it. They want to see what it looks like with Brendan Sorsby on the broadcast. And I don't know necessarily if he's going to be I don't know if he's going to be vilified and people are going to enjoy watching him fail. I think
he will be.
He represents what is he's the ultimate representation of how bad things have gotten in college athletics.
I don't know if he should be, but he is the villain of college football right now. And I think, I don't know if he should be vilified, but Texas Tech should. Texas Tech is doing this, and Texas Tech officially became the most hated program in the country.
Yeah, I think it's bigger on Tech than it is Sorsby.
I hope so. And by the way, it should be on Cincinnati, too, if they knew.
In Indiana.
Yeah,
they
in
knew.
Indiana. And Kurt Signetti. He knew.
Because a lot of things that
he wasn't there on Signetti's watch.
I've heard a lot of whispers from the Cincinnati side that they were aware. So there's a lot complicit here.
By the way,
there's a lot complicit.
By the way, Bo, I looked this up because I do think now that this is in the courts, everything should be fair game. Underage gambling penalties vary by state and jurisdiction. Offenders typically face criminal charges on a permanent record, fines ranging from $500 to $1,500 or more per offense, a 6-month driver's license suspension, probation, and potential jail time. Now, the jail time is usually in the case of repeat offenders, and it talks about consequences for adults and parents, significant civil and criminal penalties, including the potential suspension of a liquor or gaming license. But I guess that would be if a casino or something is letting them do that. So that's kind of everything that has happened and where we're at. Coming up next, conferences pushing back. Should Texas Tech be held responsible if he plays? Will the amount of pressure that is mounting on them force them to self-impose suspension of their own quarterback? We'll get to all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
When sudden illness or injury strike, Ohio State offers 3 types of urgent care to meet any of your needs. From traditional urgent care to our specialized orthopedic urgent care for activity-related injuries and advanced urgent care for more serious injury and illness. Our experts treat everything from broken bones to ear infections and colds and flu. Ohio State Urgent Care. This is world-class care.
This is Gordon Miller for Miller Lending, the original home of the no-cost mortgage. As a third-generation family-owned business, I learned early on the importance of relationships and always looking out for the best interest of the consumer. So back in 1987, I witnessed firsthand how closing costs worked and did not like what I saw. Averaging upwards of $15,000, the cost of refinancing was so high, it prevented borrowers from lowering their payment, while the cash to close on a purchase was doubled. That's insane. So 39 years ago, I developed a loan option without any cost at all. Instead of using your money, we used the lender's money. The result? A zero closing cost mortgage. Fast forward to today, and we've now saved consumers over $500 million in needless fees. So before you hand your money over to your lender, call Miller Lending and see why a no-cost loan is right for you. 877-9-NO-COST, or simply apply online at nocostmortgage.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender and MLS number 250-2146.
If you don't have Friday, June 12th circled on your calendar, get out a marker, circle that 12. Hollywood Casino Columbus is the place to be. Scotty Vegas here, and we're going to be cheering on Team USA in the sportsbook with a big watch party at 9 o'clock. Contest, prizes, plus the all-new Hollywood Casino Columbus Hotel grand opening is June 12th. Brett Michaels live, fireworks, swag, food trucks, and our watch party. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Here's a look at what's going on around the ballpark with your Cincinnati Reds. The team's on the road with a divisional stop in St. Louis before heading to San Diego. When they return home on Friday the 12th, we'll have a drone light show added to our post-game fireworks after the Reds take on the Diamondbacks. That Saturday, fans in attendance will receive an Andrew Abbott City Connect 1.0 bobblehead presented by St. Elizabeth Healthcare while supplies last. Sunday the 14th is a Veterans and Military Appreciation Day with pregame ceremonies honoring military groups and all military and first responders getting specially priced tickets. That's also another family discount day thanks to Klosterman Bakery. Families can save by purchasing up to 3 half-price tickets with the purchase of a full-price ticket. Tuesday the 16th is our next Budweiser 3-2-1 Tuesday, and Thursday is a business day special as they wrap up the homestand. For information on these dates and everything happening at Great American Ballpark, go to Reds.com.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet store, and my journey continues. No more agony of defeat. Already this season, I've walked 18 holes twice and lived to tell the story. My personally fit arch supports go where I go. And in this case, right into my shoes, all of them. I just pop them in any pair and off I go. Just having that support and the stability has made a world of difference for me. A while back, I walked into the Good Feet store and walked out with an entirely new outlook. And I knew it right away. After taking the test walk around the store, I felt the difference. And not just that cushy feeling. I'm talking about real support, the kind that makes you feel aligned. For more than 30 years, the Good Feet store has helped thousands of people discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. I experience it daily. I really feel my personally fit arch supports guide my feet into their ideal position. You can make an appointment online or just stop into the Good Feet store in Grove City or on Polaris Parkway in Westerville. Get started at goodfeet.com.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, ooh, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan. The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by KDHVAC, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan. We'll read your emails on the air, but we won't tell you where to send them. Hey, we're not doing all the work for you. This is Bishop and Friends.
Hey, guys, when it comes to making a decision like the ring, you don't wing it. That's why I trust my friends at Diamond Seller. For nearly 80 years, their families help generations of couples celebrate life's biggest moments with exceptional quality, larger diamonds, and better value. And, guys, here's the best part. They're going to walk you through it step by step. You know you're going to get it right at Diamond Seller. Whether you're ready to propose or ready to upgrade, visit Diamond Seller, Sawmill Road or Easton Town Center. Learn more at diamondseller.com. Ladies, by the way, for you, Father's Day is coming up. Watches, always win. Always win. Great, incredible new stuff they have at Diamond Seller, obviously, one of the best selection in town, but also some really cool used watches that you can scoop up there that they've curated and are done at a level that only that they would approve of. So check them out. All right, so the pushback on this yesterday was as big a pushback as I've ever seen. Not only from everybody covering the sport, people in the sport, conferences, the NCAA, all of it. The NCAA put it, they already requested an accelerated appeal of the ruling. This is an accelerated appeal, but does not involve parental termination, child protection, or child adult status to stand trial. NCAA appeals is a court of appeals for the 7th District of Texas, sitting in Amarillo, Texas. USA Today says that a court date for the full case of Sorsby versus the NCAA is not scheduled until February 8th, 2027, a date that arrives exactly 2 weeks after the college football season concludes with the college football playoff championship game. So the NCAA is going to try to throw a Hail Mary here. They tried doing this its circumstances were different, but they tried doing this in the Trinidad Chambliss case at Ole Miss, and that failed. And so he's going to play. So we'll see if they can find a way to do it here. I wouldn't be optimistic that they will. So then the rest of the conferences say, well, what can we do about it? The Nebraska athletic director, Troy Dannon, informing his staff today that they aren't allowed to schedule Texas Tech in anything. Big Ten officials are expected to discuss in the upcoming days a league-wide mandate to not play Texas Tech in any sports per 3 Big Ten sources to Yahoo. The Georgia athletic director, Josh Brooks, weighed in on this. True integrity means holding your program accountable when things go wrong, not buying custom legislation or running to a local courtroom to bypass the rules. By the way, Cody Campbell, the super booster at Texas Tech, did respond to this he's pretty damn good at social media. At Gronk, how many Georgia football players have been arrested in the last year? Fair. It's fair. All of that's fair. It's all a damn mess. The hypocrisy's rich. And so when you've seen people, and I've seen a lot of people who cover the sport say, Texas Tech should self-impose. They should not play him. That's the right thing to do. I would just point back to them and say, would your alma mater do that? You'd like to think they would. Would your favorite big state U team do that? Ask yourself that question. It is easy to throw slings and arrows at Tech. And I'm with you. This is unprecedented. But if this happened here, and it was Julian, would you want Ohio State not to play him? And you can all say, of course, it's the right thing to do. But in the moment, would you? In the moment, would you? When it really came down to it, that's the real test. It's easy to tell other people what to do, but are you sure you're willing to do the same?
The difference between Texas Tech with Sorsby, the difference between Texas Tech with Sorsby, Texas Tech without Sorsby is the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
Probably a national championship, or at least a legitimate shot at a national championship. So that's the giant caveat on this. And yes, I would hope that Ohio State would do the right thing and not play the quarterback who has admitted to gambling on sports multiple times. However, I would be okay if Ohio State just said, you know what, NCAA, go bleep yourself.
I don't think on this I would. Not the gambling part of this.
Because I think back, though, Baker, to how deep it went, that Sports Illustrated piece in Tatgate. And I go, well, the NCAA has wronged Ohio State before. So why would anybody want to play ball with this organization?
Did they wrong Ohio State in the moment, though? When we can say the rules were stupid and wrong, especially looking back now, but I don't think they wronged them in the moment.
I think Ohio State had an offering, and the NCAA said that wasn't good enough.
I think what happened, and I lived this and covered it daily, what happened there, that was such a different climate. And what that reaction to, the Tress being pushed out, was a reaction to the public outcry. If you go read that piece that was written, George Dorman, I think, was the guy who did it. I'm pretty sure he was. The Sports Illustrated cover, How Deep It Went, with Tress on the cover. If you actually go read it, there wasn't anything new in that piece. There's nothing new. We all knew all of it. It had already been reported multiple times, but it was the cover of Sports Illustrated when that mattered. And Ohio State was embarrassed. And that's why they did what they did with Tress. We are so far past that. We are so far past that. And that's the thing that's why it was, to me, that's why this is such a tricky one for Big State U team and even Texas Tech. This did not happen at Texas Tech. He didn't bet on Texas Tech football. This happened at other places on their watch, right? Did they know that he did these things? We'll never know. He knows that, and the people who signed him at Texas Tech know that. Nobody else knows that. But his transgressions did not happen at Texas Tech. So if Texas Tech is Ohio State, look what I just did there. You can kind of rationalize your way out of it. I mean, we have had college football players who have done violent things to others who get second chances. So I think I think we've crossed the Rubicon. I think that the emperor has no clothes. I think if you can bet on sports and you can bet on the teams you play on and there's no punishment for it, it's over. You can do anything at that point. It's all over. But at the same time, everybody crying for Texas Tech to do something about it. If it's your school, would you want them to do it if the consequences were this big? Because the reality is, we talk about this stuff every day. Most of you out there, you just want to go to your game on Saturday and you want to win. That's really what you want. We deal in the muck.
You also want to know that the game's on the up and up, too.
Well, that's true for the people who gamble a lot. And there are obviously a lot of people who do, but not everybody who's a fan does.
And the issue with this is maybe it's not. Maybe when you have these gambling issues, maybe the game isn't on the up and up. And I want to go back to Cody Campbell real quick in this. Mm-hmm. You cannot say in one sentence, and we talked about this yesterday a little bit, you cannot say in one sentence, I'm trying to make the game better. However, with the rules being the way they are, and we can do this because this is what the rules say, we're going to do it. You can't do that. You're not trying to make the sport better. And his point about Georgia is right, and we've talked about that on this program. When is somebody going to step in and say enough is enough with Georgia and all these speeding tickets? I mean, somebody's already died.
Yeah.
When is enough enough? But you can't say in one hand, well, look at them over there. I'm trying to better the sport, and then you're doing this.
His pushback to that would be, I'm playing in the sandbox. I'm playing in the sandbox with the rules that are in play right now.
But you're saying
I'm trying to improve the sandbox. And you're talking out of both sides of your mouth is what he's doing. But everybody is. They all are. Nobody's following the rules. The last thing on this I'll say is, it's amazing how many people don't realize that when the NCAA files litigation against Texas Tech, they're filing litigation against themselves. Texas Tech is the NCAA. The NCAA works for Texas Tech. They work for the schools. They're not independent. I'll be shocked to see. How this goes the next couple of weeks is going to be fascinating. It's going to be very, very fascinating. A monumental day here in the building. We will attempt to put it into perspective coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Bring your landscape back to life with an unbeatable deal from Ohio Mulch. 5 bags of premium mulch for just $10. You choose from absolute black, brown, or red to make your flowers pop and your curb appeal shine. Whether you're refreshing flower beds or finishing up that weekend project, Ohio Mulch, they have everything you need to make it look like a pro did it.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, greener, greener, better.
When it's too hot to go out, it's definitely too hot for your AC to go out. The Waterworks Heating and Cooling Pros are here to help. We offer fast repair and AC replacement for any cooling system when you need it. Plus, we're a premier Lennox dealer and can install an energy-efficient system for a great price. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit us online at thewaterworks.com. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hello, I'm Ozempic. And I'm other GLP-1s, kind of like him. Hey, are you shaking a maraca? No, I'm shaking the pill version of Ozempic, which no one should ever do except in ads like this. A nice disclaimer. Hey, thanks. Ask your doctor about which FDA-approved uses of the Ozempic pen or pill may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide tablets, 9 milligrams, and Ozempic semaglutide injection, 2 milligrams.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
Today, we're talking about how you don't have to earn more when you can save more. Okay, so you brought me this stat. T-Mobile customers had the lowest wireless bills versus Verizon and AT&T over the past 5 years. That seems surprising.
Yeah, when I first heard it, I thought, okay. But when the experts at HarrisX broke it down, it was true for millions of families.
They have a 5-year price guarantee on experience plans and America's Best Network, plus lower bills. I'm not hearing any sacrifice here.
Which is what people need right now. Reliability, predictability. Affordable wireless service isn't a perk. It's a difference. And listeners, if you don't believe me, you can check it out at tmobile.com/switch.
Best mobile network based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. Price guarantee on talk, text, and data. Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Based on HarrisX billing snapshots from Q3 21 to Q4 25 compared to average AT&T and Verizon bills. Comparison excludes discounts, credits, and optional charges. For more details, see harrisx.com/T-Mobile-bills.
Jeremy Foltz, CEO and co-founder of 3C Technology Solutions, speaks about working with First Bank of Central Ohio.
I think FBCO had a really nice personal touch. Transition was really easy and much cleaner than I thought it would be. Some very specific things that made me very excited to work with them are availability and creativity.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
I always tell people I was the luckiest guy in the world. I wanted to be an Army man or a fireman, and I got to do both. As a firefighter, my job was about saving lives. I never thought one day I would be fighting for mine.
After spending his career answering the call to save others, Ken was diagnosed with ALS. Now he's facing his biggest battle, for more time. For 70 years, Muscular Dystrophy Association has been answering the call to help people live longer and more independent lives.
MDA means to me hope.
MDA is leading the way for people living with ALS, muscular dystrophy, and other neuromuscular diseases by accelerating research, advancing care, and advocating to empower families like Ken's.
I wouldn't be living as good of a life with ALS if it wasn't for MDA. MDA is helping people live stronger and love longer. Learn more at MDA.org today.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Eric Reeser. After 12 seasons in the NFL, Browns left guard Joel Bitonio has officially retired. The two-time All-Pro made the Pro Bowl 7 times. Bitonio was picked in the second round by Cleveland back in 2014 out of the University of Nevada. Cleveland hopes former Chargers lineman Zion Johnson can fill Bitonio's spot at left guard. Browns are holding mandatory minicamp in Berea today through Thursday. In the NBA, the Spurs beat the Knicks 115-111 last night in Game 3 of the Finals. First loss for New York since April 23rd. The Knicks still lead 2-1. Madison Square Garden will be the site for Game 4 Wednesday. In baseball last night, the Padres beat the Reds 6-2. Fifth straight loss for Cincinnati. They'll look to halt that slide in San Diego tonight at 9:40. You can hear it on the Fan with coverage at 9:10. The Guardians fell to the Yankees yesterday in 10 innings last night. They'll do it again tonight at 6:40. This update is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Take a vacation from high interest rates with special rates on balance transfers at BMI Federal Credit Union. BMIFCU.org/consolidate.
Find us on YouTube. Search WBNS Radio and you can see what Bo looks like. But only if you subscribe. This is Bishop and Friends.
Funny one on that. Got a text from my brother yesterday, and he said he goes, love the story about the ping pong story with Beamsy, and with no context. And I said, I said, huh? What are you talking about? And then so apparently he was stumbling around YouTube, and I popped up, and the one that popped up was when Beamsy hustled me a couple of weeks ago at ping pong after the gym racket sports, what apparently was an entire semester of racket sports that he had played. So, yeah, all of that. I go, but I forgot that we even talked about that. I guess it was a couple of weeks ago. I'd forgot all about it, but he loved it. I said, well, you remember, you'll see how this goes. I'm being hunted by jackals.
Honest Abe, of all of your kids, did that to you.
That's what Tuck said. He goes, he said he really pulled that off with a straight face. He goes, the silent assassin. And I said, yeah, I had no idea that the hustle was on. Pretty diabolical approach, I will say. So, yeah, that's what they're at. But that's what happens when you have 14, 12, and 10-year-olds. They're little jackals just nipping at your heels when you're the lion. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do here, is just fend off the jackals. And in a way, that plays into our next conversation about my great friend Dom Tiberi, because I think probably when I first got to Channel 10 in 2007, he viewed me as a jackal, as someone who was coming for him.
I thought you were calling Adam King a jackal.
No, he's been a jackal. He remains one. I think Dommy probably thought I was. He was not the warmest guy to me at the beginning. He would even admit to this. Now, he could have been just that I was asking him to do things on O&N that he wasn't going to be compensated anymore for. That's possible. But inevitably, he did loosen up, and he did become remains one of my best friends in the market and just in life in general. And I think one of the crazy things is 10 TV and Dami, this is his day, but this morning at 5 a.m. they put it out there that he'd be stepping down from a full-time purpose and full-time role at Channel 10 after 45 years at Channel 10. He's still going to do some he's going to lead their Buckeye football coverage. He can do the coaches shows and do all of those things, and we'll talk to him about that. He's going to join us here in about 10 to 15 minutes or so. I think that's really smart of him to stay in it. The way that I've seen, some of the other media legends around here, whether it's Tim May or Clay Hall and those guys who step down from a day-to-day basis, although I don't know that Tim ever did. He still does it all day-to-day the way he always did, but still kind of stay in it. James said one of the smartest things when I was doing the show with him, you got to know what your why is. And I think being able to still do that keeps giving you energy. There are a billion things I could tell you about Dami. And a billion stories I could tell you about Dami, and if we want to, we can go down that road, and we'll have story time with him here in the next couple of segments. But what I would say that is underrated about Dom that people don't fully realize is this. I've never met anyone in my life, professionally, private life, who is completely at ease with someone walking up to him on the street who he's never met, viewer, listener, fan, and just at ease with titans of industry. Dom can completely disarm anyone immediately. Immediately. I've seen him do it with the most powerful people in this town. I've seen him do it with the most powerful people in sports, commissioners, coaches, team owners. Disarms all of them. He has a gift and an ability to relate to anyone, no matter what their standing is. And he treats all of the people the same, which is a remarkable thing. I'm not good at that the way he is. Not nearly as good. I watched and I learned and I said, God, that's what this is about. And what Dom, I think, when we talked to him about this, and I think he would admit this, his nearly 5 decades on Channel 10 was mostly about relationships. It was mostly about relationships. It was friends that he made. He got to cover some of the coolest stuff ever. He got to live through a transitional phase of this sport where, or this business rather, where when he came into it, it truly was Anchorman. I mean, truly. I mean, even when I first got to Channel 10, we had 2 choppers. We had 7 or 9 people in the sports department. I can't even remember. It might have been 9 people in the sports department. We had this massive staff that was producing all of this content. First time I went to the Sugar Bowl to cover Ohio State and LSU in the Sugar Bowl, we were there for 2.5 weeks. And they built a set. And the first time I saw it, I came around the corner. It was right outside the Superdome. They built this. I thought it was ESPN. And I was riding in the car with Dom, and he goes, no, that's us. What? We built like a giant set for 2 weeks of broadcast? It was crazy. To now, the digital stuff that it's been over the last several years and all of the ways of managing social media. Dami and I used to do a segment on his Facebook page called Off the Wall. And all it was him and I screwing around the building. Like, we'd go mess with the late, great Chris Bradley. We'd go out to the chopper hangar and mess with Terry Alt. We would go and mess with the news director at ONN, and we would mess with the Geese and talk about the flooding in the building and that's all we did was mess with people. That's it. And we had a ball. But that was that's 15 years ago we were doing that stuff. And that's now what a lot of people are doing. So he's been very innovative, too. He's been an incredible friend and mentor and will remain all of those things. But when I think of Channel 10, I think of Dom. I don't know how you have one without the other. And luckily, we don't have to answer that question anytime soon, and because he's going to be around, he's not going to be around every day. You guys both grew up in this market, and certainly have gotten to know him. And Bake, I know he messes with you on Friday nights with high school football because that's just who he is. He's mischievous by nature.
So I feel like, Bo, when we were growing up, your family, there were certain things that your family were or you weren't. You were either a Ford or a Chevy family. Yeah. You were either a Coke or a Pepsi family. And in town, you were either a Channel 6, you were either a Channel 4, or you were either a Channel 10 family with watching the news.
Yeah.
And my family was a Channel 10 family. So I remember when I was super young, Joe Holbrook was the weatherman. Mm-hmm. Dave Kaler and Angela Pace and Dom Tiberi has always been one of the sports guys. Mike Gleason was here for a while, but Dom Tiberi, I mean, he started here pretty much from my whole, from when I was born, my whole life. So I don't know Channel 10 with Dom, and it's been very cool to be here in this building full-time now for a little over a year, and for those couple years before the fall of 22. and get to know Dami. And Dami, when you see him on air, you think, oh, what a nice, goofy guy. I guarantee he's more of both of those behind the scenes here at the station and in person. And it's been awesome to get to know him a little bit and call him a friend, and super nice. Hey, if you need somewhere to go for Thanksgiving, come on over. I'm cooking 22 turkeys and all of that.
No, that's
stuff.
all real.
So, yes,
he's done that for years for folks, people, because a lot of it aren't people who lived here. They're new to the market, those type of things. He would host Thanksgiving for families.
Much like you'd pick up the Dispatch the day after a Buckeye game to read Tim May, Saturday nights you were watching wall-to-wall sports. Jerry Revish, Angela Page, Dom Tiberi. I think that's the list of, in my lifetime, prominent people. And he's never not been a part of sports in this town. It's like his job isn't sports anchor. His job isn't sports director. His job isn't reporter. His job's Dom Tiberi. Yeah. And that's the way it's been for my entire life. Mm-hmm. There is nobody like it. There's been nobody like it. There will be nobody like it.
There's so many things that flood back, but I think of the ultimate tragedy that any parent has to deal with the loss of a child, and the grief that comes with that. And then what are you going to do about it? And the reality is you can't do anything. And this, I think, will be his greatest legacy, will be Maria's message. And it will be the thousands upon thousands of hours that he has spent and worked tirelessly to try to make sure that doesn't happen to somebody else. He took the worst possible moment of his life and he turned it into a real impact for Central Ohio, the state, the nation. That's who he is. That's who Dom is. That's the selflessness that's underneath all of the rest of it, is he wanted to prevent that from ever happening to anybody else. He will join us coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keel's calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
I'm Leslie from Pella, Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, we put new windows in a Dublin home last week. You wouldn't believe how much new light was let in. Changed the entire mood of the home.
You don't need fancy windows to change the mood of a room, Leslie. Know what else will do that? Wilson's Wicks, my new candle line. Here, smell this one.
Oh, that's bad.
I call it warm tuna salad. It's not for everyone.
Get the windows that can completely change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
The lot is full and the deals are on. Let's get it started. At Lindsay Honda, we're kicking off the summer by giving you cash for your clunker. $3,500 minimum guaranteed for qualifying trade. Trade up to a new 2026 CR-V LX all-wheel drive CVT. Now just $339 a month. Or just $259 for a new 2026 Civic LX CVT. Let's get it started. Cash for clunkers is back at Lindsay Honda. Visit lindsayhonda.com for details.
If you don't have Friday, June 12th circled on your calendar, get out a marker, circle that 12. Hollywood Casino Columbus is the place to be. Scotty Vegas here, and we're going to be cheering on Team USA in the sportsbook with a big watch party at 9 o'clock. Contest, prizes, plus the all-new Hollywood Casino Columbus Hotel grand opening is June 12th. Brett Michaels live, fireworks, swag, food trucks, and our watch party. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem, call 1-800-589-9966.
Got this. Breathe. You got this. You got this.
In the moments that truly matter, what do? Rise to the occasion. Ohio Health. It's time.
Whether you're repping the orange and brown or shouting "Hoo Day," the ultimate football pilgrimage is closer than you think. Ditch the living room, get the family on the road, and make the short drive to greatness and visit the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. From the backyard to the gridiron, it's the one place where every fan comes together to create new family memories. Make it a weekend to remember and see why Ohio truly is the heart of football. Visit ProFootballHof.com and plan your visit today.
Does heel pain make you hobble just getting out of bed in the morning? If heel pain is affecting your ability to exercise and meet your walking or running goals, relief is as close as your local podiatrist. Podiatric physicians are highly trained doctors who specialize in medical and surgical treatment of the foot and ankle. Ohio Foot and Ankle Podiatric physicians are available across the state and are devoted to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Proper tree care is an investment that can lead to substantial returns and increased personal enjoyment. Hiring a certified arborist can help care for your trees and prevent storm damage. Inspections by Ohio ISA certified arborists can often find and mitigate tree defects before they fail. Only professionals with specialized knowledge and training are properly equipped to provide appropriate care. To find an arborist, visit trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
I thought mixing bleach with my floor cleaner would take the stain out.
When my youngest ate the dog's medicine, that was a new one.
I was trying to protect my garden, but I accidentally sprayed myself with pesticide.
So I called 1-800-222-1222, the poison helpline.
A poison expert helped me figure out what to do next.
I was connected to someone who spoke Spanish.
They answered my questions.
It was free.
It was confidential.
It was real help in real time.
Keep the poison experts in your pocket. 1-800-222-1222.
Think you know Buckeye football? These two say, hold my beer. The Beat with Austin and Berm.
Sponsored by the Waterworks.
Daily on the Fan's YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see scattered showers and storms today, otherwise mostly cloudy skies and warm and muggy with highs in the low 80s. For tonight, we'll still see a chance of showers and storms linger. Overnight lows right around 70 degrees. And then for Wednesday, the best chance of showers and storms will be earlier in the day, otherwise turning partly sunny, hot and humid with highs in the upper 80s and feels like approaching 100 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Miss a little, miss a lot. Catch Bishop and Friends wherever you get your podcasts. It's free.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
The Fan. Bishop and Friends present Tuesdays with Tiberi.
Sponsored by Green & Sons. Find your next Kubota tractor at Green & Sons, located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville, and online at greenandsons.com.
All right, let me ask you this. We do Tuesdays with Tiberi.
Yes, sir.
This is a big day.
Yeah.
And I got to read about it on social from Meredith Garfalo.
What are you talking about?
I can't.
What are you talking about?
I'm not. How am I not involved in the reveal?
I wanted to let you know, but I was sworn to secrecy. I've got people. I've got management.
You got people.
Plus Meredith. I don't know. What did Meredith write?
I don't know. I'm doing the show prep at 6 a.m. and the first thing I see is Meredith on social, like with her tweet, and I'm going, "Well, good Lord, who put this thing out?" So then I went to 10 TV, and then I saw it was released at 5 in the morning.
I know. I was on television this morning.
From your house?
Yes.
Like in the old days with the Super Bowl, wall-to-wall sports.
Yeah, over the phone. I got to be honest with you. This all feels so weird.
How is it?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's, you second guess yourself, but it's weird. This is all I've known for 45 years. I grew up in this building.
Mm-hmm.
And, you get a little melancholy, you get a little, nostalgic, and I think about, all the memories in my head, and I've seen some of the stuff they posted up, and I think about, when I met you, and I think about when I met Moose, and I think about my time with Coop and Earl, and I think about Woody Hayes and the time I got to spend with him, and I think about Bobby Knight and the time I got to spend with him, and it all just, the one thing I will say is that, what we do takes a lot of time away from your family. Mm-hmm. And that's the one thing that, I'm glad that I'm going to be able to spend more time with my wife and kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I love this. It's in your blood. There's nothing like it when that red light comes on and you're live. You know, whether it's radio or television, you love it. And I love being at the center of the action. I loved it. You know, one of my favorite things, standing by Jack when the guy's coming up to get that handshake. You and I would talk about, and, you know, they turned that into a commercial, how, you know, yeah, they want to win the tournament, but what do they really want? They want to get that handshake from Jack. And I've been there right there to witness all of it. I spent an entire day on an airplane and in Washington, D.C. with Woody Hayes. It's incredible.
So I said this in the previous segment, and I think you are so gifted at so many things, but I think that what I marveled at immediately with you was your ability to disarm anyone from any walk of life. And you have a gift that I've never seen anybody else match, in that you can talk to a fan who's been watching you their whole life and views you almost like as a family member. And a lot of our viewers and listeners do that. And we had it this last weekend at Memorial. You have it. I made the joke, you can't walk around Memorial with you because you can't go 2 steps without somebody coming up to you. But you can do that. And then, Dami, you can also, and this is what's remarkable, you can go and disarm the most powerful people in the world of sports. I've seen you do it.
Here's the thing.
They are comfortable with you, and that's a gift, buddy.
Here's the thing. I'm who I am. You know, I don't pretend to be anyone. And you know me. I mean, I'm the same guy I was when I was in college, putting my way through school as a garbage man for the city of Columbus. And I'm the same guy that when I had to get another job, was working at the Big Bear Bakery, sweating like crazy during the summers. And that's who I am. I mean, I just got lucky and have a great job, and I thank God every day. And, you know, I hit the lottery. What can I say? And I've got the opportunity to be around all these incredible athletes and coaches my entire life. And I got to work with guys like you and Moose and Jeff Hogan and, you know, now Adam King and my little girl Nene. I love Nicole Sheeran. and you know, I get to work with you guys, Bakes and Mike Riccardotti and Timmy the Common Man and Anthony Rothman and all those guys. I mean, it's just been I don't record this, but I've often said I would have done this for nothing because I love it. And it's fantastic. And, you know, why wouldn't I be happy? And at the end of the day, our viewers, and here's the other thing I want to say about our viewers and our listeners. I experienced, and my wife and I experienced the worst thing any parent would ever go through. And the love and the compassion that this community showed me, I got a debt of gratitude to the whole city of Columbus, because I'll tell you, when we lost Maria, I didn't know what I was going to do. And I didn't care if I lived from 1 minute to the next. And this community lifted me up. I mean, I think about the phone calls I got the morning that Maria died. Think about this. I get a phone call from John Wolf, who you know, is like my dad, a second dad. I got a phone call from Jack Nicklaus. I got a phone call from Urban Meyer. I got a phone call from Gordon Gee, and I got a phone call from Governor Kasich. First thing in the morning when this happened, and you know, I'll never forget that. But the way the community rallied around me, they were all so hurt. It lifted me up, and it really helped me get through it. The saddest and darkest thing that any parent could ever go through.
I mentioned this when I was talking a little about you with legacy and all of this in the previous segment, and I think that's it, bud. You know, you took something as a parent that we all fear, only always, and the darkest moment you can possibly have, and then you have worked tirelessly for well over a decade and raised the amount of money that you've had and raised the awareness like nobody I've ever seen raise awareness. And to me, when I think of, there's a lot of ways you could have gone after that tragedy, bud. A lot of ways. And you got back on your feet. I don't know how. I don't know how you did. I remember the first Sportcast you did after it, and I remember all of those things like it was yesterday. But I remember you fighting to try to make sure it didn't happen to anybody else.
Well, and that's the number one goal. And, you know, I'm a huge fan of Governor Mike DeWine. I'm on a safety council, and he knows too well what it's like to lose a child. He lost his daughter in a car crash. Governor Kasich lost both his parents in a car crash. And I never realized at the time, and I remember, I think you were one of the first people I talked to. I said, I never knew car crashes were the leading killer of children.
Yeah.
And I'm going like, what the hell are we doing? What do you mean? It just was not acceptable. And I'll never forget when Maria's message was born, I knew if I wanted to come back on the air, I had to embrace this because, you know, how do you hide from it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When Maria died, it became a national thing. The ball team hugged me, and what Coach Meyer did, putting the MT on the back of the helmets, and the moment of silence in Ohio Stadium, I'll never forget. And I'll be indebted to Ohio State for the rest of my life because that was just incredible what they did for us. And I knew that if I wanted to come back on television, if I wanted to come back on the air, I had to embrace this. And I'll never forget Rita Wolf. And the Wolf family's been so good to me. But Rita Wolf and I went to lunch, and we talked about what we wanted to do, what I wanted to do when I came back. What did I want to do? What did I want to do? And we came up that, you know, we needed to do something because the leading killer of children in the United States should not be car crashes. We need to end that. And it's just crazy. And so we met with Michael Fiorelli and John Wolf, and Maria's message was born. And we're trying to change the culture, as Governor DeWine says. We got to make people understand that it's the leading killer of the age group 8 to 24 and the third leading killer of all ages, with heart disease being 1, cancer being 2, and car crashes being 3. As I drove into work today, I just saw, you know, just one accident after another on the way down, but I just see people driving, and we need to, you know, we need to say, hey, the goal of driving a car is to get from point A to point B, but get there safely.
Yeah. How many? I remember you got your first simulator. What are you at now?
Oh my goodness! We have 4 simulator schools up. That's about almost 200. We initially, I don't know. We've raised.
I remember the first one, Dommy.
Yeah.
And it was like, my God, we got enough money. We're gonna do a simulator.
Now we got to start over again because the computers only last so long, and so now we've been doing this. Maria's been going to be 13 years. Isn't that crazy?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? God works in mysterious ways. It's like I told you. Who would have guessed? May 4th was Maria's birthday. She would have been 34. May 4th, my dad turned 88. And on May 4th, Kelsey gave birth to our 4th grandchild, the first daughter, and she was born on May 4th, Maria's birthday, and they named her Mia Marie, which in Italian means my Maria.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's as good as it gets.
You can't make that up, can you?
No, you can't. We'll continue with Dom in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Are you ready to tackle those home projects? Whether it's a new patio, fresh paint, or just some more space, now's the perfect time to make it happen with a home equity loan from CME Federal Credit Union. You'll get an introductory 3.99% APR for 12 months, giving you the flexibility to take on those dream house projects. Your home's next chapter starts at CME. Visit CMEFCU.org to apply today and to get your plans underway. Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender.
My name's Phil from Beverly, Massachusetts. I've lost 88 pounds with Awaken 180.
I was type 2 diabetic and I was severely overweight. I got to do something because what I was doing wasn't working. The GLP-1 was a thought, but I don't really like putting chemicals in my body. So I've been on Awaken 180 for a year ago this month. I'm now completely off of all diabetic medication, cholesterol medication. And as a result of this, I was scheduled for more knee surgery. My left knee was really getting to the point where I was having trouble walking. And now that pain is completely gone. My energy level's through the roof. I just can't say enough good things about Awaken 180 and the positive effects it has on you. It has completely changed my life.
Thanks, Phil. Austin Ward here, and Phil wanted to share his Awaken 180 story for the same reasons I have for so many years now, to let others know there is a medication-free solution for weight loss. Find your results at awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Bishop & Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Our top men are working on everything except this show.
We have top men working on it right now. Who? Top men.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Continuing with 10 TV legend Dom Tiberi, I just started writing down things that I've seen you do or things that I have done with you in the short time that of the 45 years you were at Channel 10. I have seen you wrestle a gentleman and yell them to mount you. I've seen a dog attack you. in a suit. I saw someone shoot a lacrosse ball at you, 100 and some miles an hour. I saw you date a mermaid. I saw that happen. I saw you on a sake. I saw that. I've been on Bourbon Street with you. I've been in New York City's Little Italy with you, and I was there when a guy in a fur coat was wanting us to come in and have chicken parm, and you flat out said, "You're not Italian."
He was Russian.
You're not even Italian. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So when you said this in the previous segment, and you said, "I can't believe we got paid for this." Look, there are high stakes. You got to get ratings. You got to have people watch. People got to like you. You've got to produce a lot of content. It's long hours. It's crazy hours.
Right.
But it's a lot of fun.
It is. And we did. We had a ball. Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite trips, we started in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
We then went to Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And then we ended up in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And remember, in New Orleans, our mission was we were going to eat at every Dickie Brennan restaurant. Which
we did.
I didn't even know who he was. You educated me.
That's right, we did.
When we were in Boston, we tried different clam chowders, and then we went to the North End, and we saw some boys.
Yes, we did.
You know?
Whitey Bulger may have been in there. I'm not sure he wasn't.
Well, I don't think Whitey was in there. Whitey would have been in Southie.
That's right. He was on the other side.
This was Italy here where we were, buddy. But it really has. And I'm going to miss that part, and I don't know how I'm going to handle it. What I do know is that, you know as well as I do, in television, you're away from your family a lot. I missed the kids' first 3 Christmases going to bowl games.
Yeah.
And my wife, we're getting up in age a little bit. We want to travel. We went to Aruba. I got over my fear of the ocean. A little Aruba help, and I swam in the ocean. I don't know that I'll do it again, but I did it. And, the other thing, my 2 passions now, I mean, everything, but, cancer and, losing the kids in the car crashes. Terry, has been dealing with breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And, I always, Lisa Sisko and Chris Quinn, the Buckeye Cruise, it's so amazing and what they've been able to do. And I do believe we will get a cure for cancer. And I think Ohio State will find it, the James. Mm-hmm. But 1 in 7 women get breast cancer. And, you go from losing a child and then your wife's fighting for her life with cancer. It just, you got to stop and smell the roses a little bit. And you got to, and knock on wood, we live scan to scan. She's doing good. But, I told her we'll travel a little bit. We'll have some fun. And I'm going to be little Mia Marie's Manny. I'm going to watch her during the days,
And I think it's also really smart, and you and I have talked about this a lot over the last couple of years, and honestly, probably the last 5 years or so, because you get to a point and you say, well, how do I want to do this? And one of the things that I think is really cool about what you're doing is you're stepping away from the day-to-day at Channel 10, but you're going to be back leading the Buckeye football coverage. You're going to be doing the coaches' shows. You're going to be, I'm sure, you and I haven't talked about this. I can't imagine you not being on the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer and running that. I can't imagine you not being around Muirfield doing this stuff with Jack. So I think, buddy, and I've told you this privately and telling you it publicly now, and I think you know it, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah. That's
going to be awesome.
Because I hope
I look
so.
at our mutual friends, Tim May and Clay Hall, how they you stay in it, you stay active, you stay stuff that the best part of it, you can keep doing that stuff.
And that's the part that has me, and that's why I think it's good for me. Because I think if I'm home all the time, my wife might shoot me.
Terry Tiberi is the sweetest lady on the planet.
Yeah, but
there's no way she can handle you all day, every day, at night, all day.
Yeah,
no way.
I might make her crazy, but I do. I want to get back into my golf game. But you ever think about this? And I asked someone one time.
Mm-hmm.
The theater people and the actors and all that, why they go so long? It's because they love it.
Yeah.
We don't make their money, but you love it. And there's nothing like, humankind's biggest fear is public speaking. You know that, right?
Yeah.
And if you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. But when you have it and you get a rush, it's like, I'll never forget when the first time I was in a play, I was on the stage. And it was just the most amazing feeling in the world. I know the first time I went on television. Do you remember your first time?
Yeah, vividly. Yep.
I probably should have wore a diaper. I was so nervous.
I know it
Weren't
is.
you? I mean, and then I look back at it and I go, "Oh man, look at me." Oh,
yeah.
But but it is. It's like, and you just. I don't know. I've been telling people if an idiot like me can do it for 45 years, anybody can.
But they can't.
Well, I know.
That's the difference. You have the gift. It's funny. You were talking about the lovely Terry Tiberi, just an angel, and I've never seen you one time ever. And I did a lot of television with you, a lot of hours, because not only were we doing wall-to-wall sports and Channel 10, but we were doing all that O&N stuff. We were doing Average Joe Sports Show. We were doing Buckeye Blitz. We're doing all of that stuff. So like. You and I did probably, I don't know, 2 hours of television at sometimes a week together, at least.
Easy.
And then all the specials and all of those things. I never saw you nervous ever except for one time. And we were in New Orleans. It was one of the bowl trips where we were there for remember we'd go for 2.5 weeks, basically live in New Orleans for 2.5 weeks. Yeah. I can't remember. I think it was the one when they played Arkansas, Dami. And we were broadcasting the great longtime sports director, the legendary Paul Spahn. He was always going to get us the best place to do a live shot, and we were on top of the Marriott Hotel in New Orleans in the Warehouse District. You remember this?
Beautiful background.
It was awesome. You had the city in the background. It was gorgeous, and we would do all of our shows from up there. It was spectacular. And we were just about ready to start wall-to-wall sports. And from our vantage point, you could see down towards Harrah's Casino.
Yes.
And you looked over your shoulder, and Terry Tiberi was making her way to the casino.
Yes, she was.
And that's the first time I've ever seen you nervous doing television.
Yes.
You knew what was coming.
I was worried about it.
Oh, God.
I was worried what was going to happen in there. She does like the one-armed bandits.
You were so nervous, man. Oh, God. Where's she going? And she was unsupervised. There was nobody there.
I know.
You told me, because my wife, Amy, was there on that trip. We were just newlywed. You're like, call your wife. Get her to go with her. Go with her.
Well, it's great. She's walking down there at night, and and you're worried. And then she's going to the one-armed bandit.
Yeah.
It's like, and you know what's the funniest thing is? So I won a trip. I won a poker tournament when Terry and when she was pregnant with Dominic.
Yeah.
I won a poker tournament and won an all-expense-paid trip to Las Vegas to the Tropicana. Anyways, which was the original. anyway, she had never been to Las Vegas. And I said, hey, we got to take at least $1,000. We're not taking $1,000. I don't gamble, and we'll take $100. I said, Terry, you can't take $100. And I'm arguing with her. So she goes, okay, we'll bring $1,000, but I'm holding the money. I don't trust you. You can have $50. So she's like 7 months pregnant with Dominic. They let her fly. And I'm just sitting at a blackjack table playing cheap blackjack. We were there, and I'm looking, and I see her going from this thing to that thing, and I'm going like, and she goes, "They're so nice. They just taught me how to play baccarat." And I go, "Play what?" And I'm going to play Caribbean stud poker. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" And then I saw her in the $20 slot machine. I created Frankenstein.
You did it.
Oh, my gosh. She had never gambled a day in her life. Now she loves slot machines. That's a true story.
That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, when we go on the Buckeye Cruise, she loves the slot machines. She and the ladies, they sit in there, they play, and yeah.
What's the rest of today like? What are we doing? What do we have to look forward to on Channel 10 today?
I don't know. It's all a big blur and a big surprise. And I've had a lot of text messages and a lot of messages on social media. So thank you to everyone out there. I've said it before. I'll say it again. You guys are all family to me. You know how I feel about you, Bo. You know how I feel about, Fish and Rick Regala and my bosses. I mean, it's been cool. And I'm not going to lie. This all feels surreal. It doesn't feel like it's real. You always know this day's coming. But I'm glad I'm going out the way I want. And I'm glad that I can kind of wean myself off. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. I love your plan, buddy. I think you're going to execute it spectacularly. So your last regular sportscast will be the 6th?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to give you a call tonight. We'll share a whiskey and have some chat. All right, my friend, and we'll do this again very, very soon.
Love you, buddy, and we'll talk soon.
Love you, pal. There he is, the legendary Dom Tiberi, Channel 10. Stepping down from regular duties today, but will still be omnipresent. I promise you that. We maybe have a couple things up our sleeves as well for the folks that like Dommy and I having some conversations. So we got some things we're working on. We hit Thing or Not a Thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Get Eco.
ECO. Jerry, you're the kind of guy who likes to save money while you do good for the planet, right?
Well, that's why I invented the biodegradable doggy poop bag, Aaron. I'm ecological and economical.
Well, usually the most economical thing you can do when your air conditioner dies is get it repaired. A quick fix can give you years more service.
That sounds economical.
But with older models, those repairs can get pretty expensive, and it'll still use way more energy than a newer model does.
Which is less ecological and less economical.
Get Eco.
ECO. You see where I'm going with this, Jerry?
I sure do. As hard as it is to toss out your old AC and replace the whole thing, it could actually be cheaper in the long run.
Get Eco.
ECO. Are you really a big deal in the poop bag industry, Jerry?
The doggos love me, Aaron.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement. As the Midwest's fastest growing 5-star bathroom remodeler, we're more than just transformations. We're a community driven by a mission to bring your dreams to life. Our installation team, part of the Baths R Us community, isn't just skilled. They're dedicated to respecting your home. Each day, they bring craftsmanship and hustle, turning your dream space, no matter the size, into reality. Together, we embrace a culture that values diversity, collaboration, and giving back. From supporting local projects to fostering a workplace where every voice is valued. Baths R Us is more than a company. It's a community of experts. We're also expanding locations to create more possibilities for homeowners across the Midwest. Wherever you are, you'll find us ready to turn your dreams into something you can see, feel, and enjoy every day. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire America's largest injury law firm for your case? There's lots of reasons. Just like there's a reason millions of people called us last year in their time of need. When it comes to fighting for justice and compensation, millions of people across the country trust us to go to battle for them. We became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Common Man here. Join me June 20th for the Common Man Mile at this year's Fan 5K in Westerville. Get signed up at 971therace.com.
The 97.1 The Fan 5K is presented by Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, and the Common Man Mile is sponsored by Rose Pest Solutions. Rose Pest Solutions has been protecting Columbus homes and businesses for over 165 years. Got a pest problem? Rose is the solution. Call 800-966-ROSE or visit rosepestsolutions.com.
If only there was a radio show that constantly talked about Ohio State athletics. Well, good news. It's real, baby. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and $2 tall boys. All day, every day.
10 feet tall and bulletproof isn't just a saying, it's a way of life. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a Tuesday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
On Monday, Los Angeles Rams safety Quentin Lake confirmed to reporters Aaron Donald's flirting with a comeback. Adding, quote, when you have a guy that's that serious about even considering coming out, it's like, okay, we might have a chance. The 35-year-old Donald has not played since 2023. He spent all 10 of his NFL seasons with the Rams. Rams defensive coordinator Chris Shula said he would, quote, love to have him back with open arms. Thing or not a thing?
So as soon as I saw the Miles trade happen, I texted somebody who played with Aaron. And I said, you think any chance? And he said no. But here's one piece of information that I don't know he even considered, and that's this. Aaron Donald doesn't need to go to training camp. Aaron Donald doesn't need to play every defensive snap. Aaron Donald, if he wants to, could show up game week, rush the passer with Myles Garrett on third down situations, and build toward having a bigger role if he wants to in the postseason, and still wreak crazy havoc. So I think this is a thing. I think it's a massive thing, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if it happened, and kind of leaning towards it, I think that it might happen. So, yeah, I think when you start thinking about it situationally, it becomes much more doable for AD.
So there are some athletes throughout my lifetime that when they retired, you were like, whoa, wait a second. They're not that old. There's still a lot of meat on the bone. They're still playing at a high level. And Aaron Donald was one of those. He's only 35 years old right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I think of with Aaron Donald is he was great, but he was also kind of an undersized player for the defensive tackle position.
Yeah.
So I'm sure his body took a lot of wear and tear from guys that were much bigger than him. When you're able to step away from the game for a couple years, you might start feeling pretty good again. Like, hey, maybe I want to go back and do this again. And then you see the Rams were a team that were close to making the Super Bowl last year. They add a piece in Myles Garrett, who was Defensive Player of the Year, and it helps out a defense that's already pretty good. And you think, man, I could come back to my old stomping grounds and get another one? Yeah, and if this happens, it is a massive thing.
I remember asking Joe Thomas shortly after he retired. So 2020, the Browns had that great season with Bake, Stefanski's first year, and I remember asking Joe like how many days, and he had lost. Joe lost obviously a ton of weight, but I asked him like how long would it take you to get ready, and he said 3 days. So like Donald's going to be the same. 3 days. He could show up 3 days. He could skip the Melbourne trip to open the season. 3 days, show up, wreak havoc on third downs. I think it's very much in play.
TSN reported yesterday the Edmonton Oilers are closing in on hiring Mike Babcock to be their next head coach. Babcock, as I'm sure everyone remembers, was last hired by the Blue Jackets in 2023, but he never coached a game with the franchise. He resigned after an NHLPA investigation into claims he violated players' privacy when he asked to see photos on their cell phones. The NHLPA shared its findings with the NHL, which shared them with Blue Jackets management at the time. Team president John Davidson said, quote, "We got it wrong in hiring Babcock." The NHLPA confirmed that the Oilers have reached out regarding Babcock's status and any open investigations into his conduct. Sources told ESPN that Edmonton's core leadership group has been consulted about Babcock's hiring and provided input into management. Sportsnet reported Monday Babcock met with players and that he spoke directly with Edmonton's owner. Provided there's a green light from the NHL and the NHLPA, Babcock's next stop could very well be an Edmonton Oilers. Thing or not a thing?
Pretty big thing, I think. I don't think he should be banished forever for the mistake that he made here. I would say this doesn't happen unless Connor McDavid says that's what I want, is him coaching it. How many cups did he win in Detroit? Is it just one?
He just won one cup, and that cup, was it with Detroit or was it Anaheim?
I thought he won one with Detroit.
I think his cup is with Anaheim.
Yeah, in 2003, it was the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim.
And that's it? So he never won a cup with...
No.
With Detroit? He was there that whole time?
He made it to the finals twice, but never won it.
For some reason, I thought he won one with Detroit. Yeah, probably should have won one with Detroit with all the talent they had on all those teams and were constantly in the mix. So, yeah, definitely a thing.
I think this is a thing. I believe Edmonton probably sees what Anaheim has done with Joel Quenneville and his return behind the bench. Now, Quenneville did not have...
He won the cup. He won the cup in 07-08 with Detroit.
Okay.
I knew he won one in Detroit, yeah.
So Quenneville, the accusations against Quenneville and Babcock are obviously very different, but there's kind of been a pattern of players not enjoying Mike Babcock. So you're right. This has to be something that Connor McDavid is signing off on with this. Yep. I wonder what the NHLPA is going to say about this. It's definitely interesting, and this is going to either be these next 2 years. This is either going to make Connor McDavid a career Edmonton Oiler, or it's going to, he'll be adios and playing somewhere else after this.
Babcock hasn't coached in the NHL since the 2019-2020 season in Toronto. He never got past the first round with Austin Matthews and those guys in Toronto. So it's been he hasn't been out of the first round of the playoffs since 2012, 2013 in Detroit.
Babcock, by the way, I believe it's one of 4 coaches that have won what they call the triple gold, where he's won a Stanley Cup, a World Championship, and Olympic gold for Canada.
Yep.
Ohio State sophomore and St. Francis de Sales grad Vaughn Harbour will play at Shinnecock Hills next week in the U.S. Open. Harbour played his final 5 holes in 5 under par to get to 9 under, eventually qualifying for the 2026 U.S. Open Championship in a playoff. Harbour's from Blacklick. He won a 3-person playoff to earn one of 4 spots that were up for grabs at the Lakes yesterday in Westerville. Former Buckeye Neil Shipley also qualified. He secured one of 5 spots yesterday at Springfield Country Club. Thing or not a thing?
Awesome thing. I now have somebody to root for. Be following this, be rooting for this kid. Awesome. Great job. You guys understand this, I think, but like just for the audience, how hard it is to become a professional golfer growing up in Ohio. I don't know if you've noticed this. We don't have Scottsdale's weather. We don't have Palm Beach's weather. it's a grind here to get that good. So good on him. Very cool.
Yeah, very cool. Local kid, DeSales. That's awesome. Buckeye. And also cool for Neil Shipley. We know he's played in the U.S. Open before, but this is his first one as a professional. He was an amateur before, so very cool for both of these guys.
He's an Oakmont member, isn't he, Shipley?
I believe he caddied there, right? Growing up?
Yeah, I think he caddied there, and now I think he's a member there because I remember when they were the Open Championship at Oakmont last year, he was now a member there. So very cool there. Final hour of the program coming up next. Jeremy Fowler, ESPN, going to join us at the bottom of the hour. We'll kick it off with The Real Truth, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Common Man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Tri-State Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. Tri-State Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
High energy bills? Your HVAC system could be the reason. Save up to $2,000 on a new HVAC system with Columbus Worthington Air. Smart homeowners know an old air conditioner can cost you more every month. Don't let it drain your wallet. Upgrade to efficient, reliable comfort with payment options that fit your budget. Backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Columbus Worthington Air and Bryant Heating and Cooling. Whatever it takes. Visit cwaohio.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 47543.
Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Bring your landscape back to life with an unbeatable deal from Ohio Mulch. 5 bags of premium mulch for just $10. You choose from absolute black, brown, or red to make your flowers pop and your curb appeal shine. Visit ohiomulch.com to find a location near you.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hello, I'm Ozempic. And I'm other GLP-1s, kind of like him. Hey, are you shaking a maraca?
No, I'm shaking the pill version of Ozempic, which no one should ever do except in ads like this.
A nice disclaimer.
Hey, thanks. Ask your doctor about which FDA-approved uses of the Ozempic pen or pill may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide tablets, 9 milligrams, and Ozempic semaglutide injection, 2 milligrams.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
Fall is the season of change, and Hinderer Motor Company is turning over a new leaf with big savings. This is Justin Hinderer. Right now, any one of our participating locations is paying up to $3,500 over Kelley Blue Book value. That's right. Drive in your current vehicle and leaf with one of ours today. Don't wait. The leaves are falling and so are the prices. At Hinderer Motor Company, we love what moves you.
Common Man and Timmy here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Oh, Common Man, we got lots of exciting things this month.
That's right, like the grand opening of the new hotel so you can stay and play.
Plus, we got lots of great entertainment lined up now through October. We got the Hollywood Tribute Band concert series from the timeless magic of the Beatles to the fire and swagger of Johnny Cash.
And don't forget about the $250,000 Sweet Spins drawings on Saturdays through June. You can win $250K cash or a 2-night package at the new hotel.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
And are you tired of windows so drafty that your curtains blow in the wind even after you shut your windows?
Sounds like a problem, Wilson.
It's why at the other window place, we now offer curtain tie-downs.
Wouldn't just great non-drafty windows be the answer?
And tank the entire curtain tie-down market?
Get the windows that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Ohio State football opens the season in 88 days, hosting Ball State Saturday, September 5th. For the 4th year in a row, OSU will open 3 training camp practices to the public. Thursday, August 6th, Friday, August 7th, and Saturday, August 8th. Tickets are available now for around $50 with VIP options on a first-come, first-served basis. In the NBA, for the first time since April 23rd, the New York Knicks lost a basketball game. Victor Wembanyama had 32 points to lead the Spurs past the Knicks 115-111 in Game 3 of the Finals. New York still leads the best of 7, 2-1. They're going to host Game 4 Wednesday night inside Madison Square Garden. In baseball Tuesday, the Guardians host the Yankees at 6:40. Red Legs and Padres go at 9:40. You can hear that one on the Fan with coverage at 9:10. This update's sponsored by Metal Supermarkets, your convenience store for metal. Visit Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com or 2180 Wilson Road for all your metal needs.
The perfect show for quarter zips and khaki shorts. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a Tuesday edition. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler going to join us in 29 minutes from now. We kick the hour off by hitting a little bit of that real truth. Hit it, fellas.
Bishop and Friends present The Real Truth.
Sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years.
Brendan Sorsby will play this season at Texas Tech. Is that the real truth?
Boy, that's a $6 million question, isn't it? So when I was thinking about this and put it in here this morning, I was thinking to myself that my answer to this was going to be no, that he wouldn't. And the reason behind that rationalization was maybe he just says the heck with all of this and just says, I'm going to go in the supplemental draft. My status has changed, and I'm good. Because the other thing about that ruling that we didn't talk about is that was also referenced in the ruling, the supplemental draft, and his ability to enter that. So his status has changed. He is suspended now. There is a lawsuit. There are those things. So he would be eligible for the supplemental draft should he choose to do so. I'm going to stay there. I'm going to say that it's not it's not the real truth that he will not play at Texas Tech this year. But I would be candid. It would be disingenuous of me if over the course of this morning I haven't been wavering a little bit on that opinion.
So unfortunately, because of this injunction, I think this is the real truth, because I don't know how they get all of this court stuff settled before the season. And with one injunction, there'll be an appeal, and then there'll be another appeal. And so I don't know how all of this gets done by week 3 of the season. And that's when he is eligible to play again, according to all of this, after he misses the first 2 games. I hope, Bo, and I pray that someone steps up. I saw that the Big 12 ADs are all meeting today before they say anything on this or make a ruling on this or whatever. So I hope somewhere sanity prevails in all of this. I don't think he's going to the supplemental draft now because the money is just so different. He's making so much money at Texas Tech. He's not going to make any in the supplemental draft going to the NFL to start. It's not like being a first-round draft pick again, so...
No, he gets second-round money, though, and I don't think he would go past second round, so that's not $6 million in a year.
Yeah.
But...
So Unfortunately, I think this is the real truth, but gosh, I hope and pray somewhere sanity prevails.
The Cleveland Browns have mandatory minicamp running today through Thursday. Todd Monken's going to name a starting quarterback before the weekend. Is that the real truth?
I don't think it's the real truth, even though he had previously stated that he wants to, but I think he'll know who his starting quarterback is. In fact, I think he already knows who his starting quarterback is, but I don't know that he'll name one at the end of this week. But I think in the back of his head, he probably already knows.
So, Bo, you are obviously, you know more than me and all of us because you're up there and you see a lot of this. I would have said that this was the real truth until I was in Akron this past weekend and listened while I was driving around to 92.3 The Fan up there, and they were talking about how Shador was getting some more first-team reps and that he looked better, and people were talking about that he had made some strides here throughout the couple weeks and whatnot, and I think probably Monken is leaning one way already for a starting quarterback, but I don't think they're going to name that, and I don't think they need to this week.
John Tortorella will be with the Las Vegas Golden Knights for the next 2 NHL seasons. Is that the real truth?
No, I don't think so. I could see finish. So you're saying 2 seasons after this run?
Correct.
Well, I think they're going to win it. It's just a shelf life for it. You know, like he's such a shot of adrenaline, and so it'd be crazy not to bring him back for next year. I think 100% he's back next year. But then it becomes, is it a 2-year thing? I'm gonna stick with my gut on this. I'm gonna say no, not the real truth. I think he wins the cup this year with them, which would be his second cup, which would be awesome. And then I think he gets next year, and then I think they pivot to go in another direction. So I'm gonna say no, not the real truth.
Bo, I actually kind of feel like it's the reverse of that. I feel like if they win it this year, what a perfect way to walk off into the sunset in retirement or some TV, whatever you want to do. Yeah. I think if maybe they come up just short, that would fuel Torch to come back. Maybe we need to get AR in here and ask, because I think he would know more than both of us. But I think if they win it this year, I think he's out. What a perfect way to end your career. So I don't think this is the real truth.
How old is Torts?
I want to say he's 67.
Yeah, he's 67. He's young, though, man.
He'll be 68 at the end of the month. Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals tonight at 8. Vegas is hosts Carolina up 2-1. So you had Game 3 of the NBA Finals last night. I saw a graphic that was pretty mind-boggling, and that this will be the eighth NBA champion without a repeat. So the 8th time there hasn't been a repeat champion. It was back in the late 20-teens, that the Golden State Warriors went back-to-back. But no NBA team will win back-to-back championships this decade. Is that the real truth?
So no, it's not the real truth. I think either Oklahoma City or, quite honestly, if San Antonio turns this around, one of those will win back-to-backs. You got, 4 more cracks at it? Well, you're going to have 3 more cracks at it. Yeah, you'll have 27, 28, 29. So 3 more cracks at winning back-to-back. I think either Oklahoma City or San Antonio will win back-to-backs. Here's the part of a bigger conversation, if you want to have it. Is this good? Because this is parity. This is true parity. Is this good? Or, because this graphic is stunning, is the 80s and 90s example better? So in the 80s, the Lakers won 5 championships, the Celtics won 3. In the 90s, so of the 10, those 2 franchises won 8. In the 90s, Jordan won 6 with the Bulls. The Rockets won 2, and then they were sandwiched by, the second Pistons and the first of San Antonio's in the strike-shortened year, but 6. From a rating standpoint, those 2 were the king eras of the NBA. Were those 2 eras, but also there wasn't nearly the amount of stuff to watch or to pull our attention as there is now. So I don't even know if you can make that, because we consume things so much differently now than we did then. But I wonder if The NBA got what it wanted because they wanted parity. That's what the lottery was about. That's what salary cap was about. Second apron, no super teams, all of that stuff. They wanted parity. They got it. Is this better than having dynasties?
I think dynasties are always better because we want greatness. We want to see greatness. And when you have greatness, whether that be, you got to have a couple teams, I think, to have a rivalry and get there. I think that's good. I want to say, like, if we're doing a decade from now and we're going 10 years into the future on this, I would say that this isn't the real truth because I still think Oklahoma City is so good and they are so set up with draft picks for the next 5 years that I don't see how Oklahoma City doesn't have a dynasty somewhere in here, but they're not going to win it this year. So that just gives them 3 years or the Spurs 1 year to do it. And I don't know if that's the case. So I'm going to say this isn't the real truth, but it would be if we went from 2026 to 2036.
Yeah, you go a decade out. Yeah, basically, you got two chances. If San Antonio wins it this year, then they can, they'd have to win it next. Or Oklahoma City wins it next year and the year after. Those are the two most likely chances for this to happen. That's an interesting one, though. It's crazy when you look at that graphic and you see, like, basically the entire 60s are Boston Celtics logos, the 80s mostly Lakers. The Lakers are kind of the only one that's there all the way through, really. Every decade. The only decade the Lakers didn't win it was 90, but they played for it in 91 against the Bulls. But that was kind of their only downstretch. Other than that, they were kind of always in the mix. I guess they didn't win in the 60s either, but they won 4 in the 50s and then 1 in the 70s and 5 in the 80s.
Looking at that graphic, Bo, it makes me remember just how good of a run the NBA had there from Bird and Magic into Isaiah and the Pistons coming on the scene, and then Jordan and the Bulls and their run, and you had the Rockets and the Knicks, and Phoenix was in there trying to get a piece of it, Reggie Miller's Pacers teams. That was just such a great 10, 15-year, 20-year run of basketball.
And it took probably until the last 5 to 10 years for the league to catch up with the expansion that happened in the 90s. Because the league started to get watered down in the 90s. They added 4 expansion teams in like 6 years. They added Minnesota, Miami, Memphis, and Toronto in a 5-6 year period. Well, what does that mean? That means there are, 60 more NBA jobs? And there just wasn't the talent to back it up. And you got to remember, in the early 90s, there really weren't European players playing over here. Not many. A handful. Now look at the global game that it is and how it has grown. And now you have a situation where the sport is big enough globally that it can support expansion again if they want to do it. That there are enough great players to be able to do it. Adam Silver had a really interesting comment. He was joined on Inside the NBA last night, and he talked about the anti-tanking and all the stuff that they're doing with that. And I thought he really thinks that it's going to work. We'll see. I'm a little more skeptical that it actually will. But they got what they wanted because you got parity. Lakers, Bucks, Warriors, Nuggets, Celtics, OKC at either San Antonio or New York so far in the 2020s. Mandatory minicamp around the league. It starts today up in Berea. It does so with the backdrop of a legendary Brown announcing his retirement. We'll set the stage for all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Nothing feels better on a hot summer day than coming home to a nice air-conditioned house. If your AC is on the fritz, don't sweat it. Call the pros at the Waterworks Heating and Cooling. We service all makes and models and can provide great savings on a Lennox home comfort system that delivers that perfect feeling. The Waterworks Heating and Cooling Services. Call us at 614-232-2222 and schedule fast service today. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results.
The Reds are on the radio.
Swung on, crushed. High, deep, left field. There it goes. A 3-run go-ahead blast for Eugenio Suarez. They're waving around Friedel. Up throwing Anthony. Throw to the plate, not in time. And the Reds walk it off at 11, 6-5.
The quest for October baseball is underway. Hear all the action all season long on your home of the Reds.
Hey, this is Bobby Carpenter here with my friend Jake Ballard with QC Kinetics. So, Jake, I know that the years of football began to erode your knee. Did that subside when you got done playing football, or is that something that has persisted even years after retiring?
When I retired from football, the pain didn't go away. So for me, I had a lot of pain in my left knee, and it was something that caused me aches and pains every day, especially in the morning and the evening. Once I arrived at QC Kinetics and saw Dr. Tesner, they told me all about my knee. The one thing that really got me excited was there's no surgery, and we started treatment right away.
It can change your life, and hopefully that's been the same for you as it has for me.
Bobby, I feel a lot better. Walking without pain, going through my day without pain, even having no pain while I was being more active and hiking or riding a bike.
So, Jake, it was great talking to you about this. And if you're dealing with that kind of pain, check out QC Kinetics, located in Dublin and in Gehenna, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544, or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus.
When sudden illness or injury strike, Ohio State offers 3 types of urgent care to meet any of your needs. From traditional urgent care to our specialized orthopedic urgent care for activity-related injuries and advanced urgent care for more serious injury and illness. Our experts treat everything from broken bones to ear infections and colds and flu. Ohio State Urgent Care. This is world-class care.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Sleep Better Columbus has been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results and now has an office open in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Hi, I'm Josie. My daughter turns 5 today. Blow out the candles. I'm also an Ohio State Highway Patrol trooper. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can get home to celebrate with my daughter.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
Brought to you by ODOT, USDOT, NHTSA, and ODPS.
Rothman and Ice.
Can't go in dry like that.
Some people do.
No, that's not good.
3 consecutive drops right there. back to back to back by you 3.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see scattered showers and storms today, otherwise mostly cloudy skies and warm and muggy with highs in the low 80s. For tonight, we'll still see a chance of showers and storms linger, overnight lows right around 70 degrees. And then for Wednesday, the best chance of showers and storms will be earlier in the day, otherwise turning partly sunny, hot and humid with highs in the upper 80s and feels like approaching 100 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Miss a little, miss a lot. Catch Bishop and Friends wherever you get your podcasts. It's free.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
The Fan. The best facial hair on the air. This is Bishop and Friends.
Well, you have been around for a while. You learn a few things. I like to think I know a little bit about radio, a little bit about TV. For pests like ants and termites, I don't know anything. And that's why I turn to my friends at Rose Pest Solutions, because they do. Over 165 years of experience, they've mastered their craft as the nation's oldest family-owned pest control company. The pros from Rose protect Columbus homes and businesses with expert pest prevention and treatment. Got a pest problem? Rose is the solution. Call 800-966-ROSE or visit rosepestsolutions.com. Mandatory minicamp going on up in Berea today as 3 days, and then you're done. That's the way this is going to go. They'll break for summer, and then they will reconvene in late July and start training camp. They have been at it for a while, and the reason for that is when you get a new coach, you buy yourself an extra 10 OTAs. And the biggest difference I could tell you guys from a Todd Monken OTA practice, and I'm guessing what will happen this afternoon from a Todd Monken minicamp practice and a Kevin Stefanski OTA or minicamp practice is, if the NFL allows you, and I don't know what the correct number on this is, but just so don't quote me on it, but just you'll get the point, and I think you'll understand the example. If the NFL allows you 2 hours of practice time a day, the Cleveland Browns under Todd Monken will practice exactly 2 hours a day. The Cleveland Browns under Kevin Stefanski might practice for an hour and 15 minutes. If you are going to get 2 hours of football allotted by the NFL and the NFLPA, then what you're going to get out of Todd Monken is one drill after another. Very little talking. Rep, next. Kevin would have some chat. One way's not right, one way's not wrong. That's not what this is about. Stefanski won Coach of the Year twice doing it this way. There are other coaches around the league who do it that way. And, I mean, heck, I think it was the 49ers canceled their mini camp altogether. And Kyle Shanahan wins a ton and has been on the precipice of the Super Bowl. There's a lot of different ways to do things. You can win it that way, or you can win this way. But I do think for this version of the Cleveland Browns, which with the trade of Myles Garrett got really young really quick, this version fits this operation better than the previous one does. Will it elicit more wins next season? Who knows? The football gods will determine that, and if they get quarterback play that is of a level that you can win football games with, fine. All of those things will check out. But just personality-wise, the personality of this Cleveland Browns team is dramatically different this year and will be than it was a year ago. And that, to me, is just from a feel, is the biggest difference that I've seen.
Considering the team that we follow the most, Ohio State, they just announced their 3 open practices. And what we've seen over the last 3 years, this will be the 4th year in a row that they do it, is they don't waste any time. It's constant movement. It's less talking. You talk before, you talk after, but you go. And they've had great success that we've seen live and in living color with. And so when you say that about the Cleveland Browns, that gives you some hope as a Browns fan that this is being run efficiently. And if there's been one thing of the many things that have hampered is the lack of efficiency. And so if they can at least do the little things efficiently, then maybe not this season, but next season you can start to see some of the efficiencies really, really pay off, provided, as we've talked throughout the program, they get the quarterback right. But you got 4 of them. So with those 4, you can see who can give you a competitive advantage this season, but then you've also got draft capital. So you have plenty of opportunity in front of you, and at least on the field, I like to see that Monken is making the most of the opportunities.
I'm with you, Reese. It seems like the last couple of years with the Cleveland Browns, there have been so many undisciplined penalties, poor clock management in huge situations, not great in the situational football. Todd Monken is a guy that, while he's never been a head coach in the NFL, he's a guy that's been around for a long time, and he has seen all of that stuff and been a part of teams and knows that stuff matters. It can be the difference between winning and losing. So maybe he's not going to be the players' best friends, by doing that. Maybe they're not going to love having to be working for a whole 2 hours rather than some downtime in between. I really don't care. I just want to see better results on the field.
If you win, it'll work.
And he's not a hard ass. Like, don't confuse that. He's not. He's still a player's coach. Very much. I mean, he's raw guy. He is not somebody who's ruling anything with an iron fist in any way. It's just, and this is a life lesson for the kids out there, right? Whether you do what we do or whatever you decide to do, you got to be honest to who you are. You can't be something that you're not. So that's the way that Kevin wanted to do it. The way that Todd wants to do it, and he's waited a long time for this, is this way. And he spent the last kind of tranche of his career learning at the feet of two of the most successful guys you're going to find in Kirby Smart and John Harbaugh. I mean, that's just the last two stops. So when you are in your 60s and you get your first crack at being a head coach, you are going to be authentic to who you are, because this is probably the only one you're going to get. Just Father Time not on your side. If this doesn't go well, you're probably not going to get another crack at being a head coach. If it goes exponentially well, which we're all hoping for, he'll be the Browns head coach for a decade, 5 to 8 years. Who knows? That's kind of the thought process behind all of those things. So, to me, that's the thing that's most interesting and I think encouraging, because I think he is the perfect coach for that team at this time. I thought that when he was in the running, I was thrilled that he got the job, and everything that I knew of him when he was the offensive coordinator for that crazy year with Freddie Kitchens, all of those things are working. And now we'll see. We'll see how it manifests in terms of wins and losses, and that's when we'll really know. But the tone is very, very different. I think what is going to be really interesting over the next 3 days up there in terms of the quarterback competition is going to be, this is the first consecutive days, and there are 3 of them, that the assembled media will be able to see all of it. So up until this point, like you guys have seen, like the quarterback trackers that are out there and all of that stuff.
Love a good OTA tracker.
In the OTA trackers, though, they get 1 practice a week. So the way that they're doing the practices, one day it might be a heavy Deshaun day. The other day it may be a heavy Shedeur day. So like last week was a heavy Shedeur day with the ones. You're going to see 3 straight days of how Todd and his staff views those 2 quarterbacks. And I would have told you before last week that Deshaun Watson was in control of that. But he has misses, too. He's not been flawless. Far from it. Shedeur had a really good week last week. So now that Denzel Ward's back, now that Grant Delpit is back, now that you have your full roster and you have real camp with real players, what do all of these things look like? And how does he manage those reps? To me, that is going to be fascinating, and you will get a clear picture. That's why in the Real Truth, when we had that in there, will he name a starting quarterback? I don't think he will. I don't think he has to, but I think he'll know.
I guess if he knows, just name it.
There's another component to that.
Which is?
I'll tell you off air.
Okay. Because I wonder, what good it would do. I think especially with 4, because yesterday what interested me was Dylan Gabriel, and it didn't seem like they put any content out there of him despite doing a media day. And so you've got 4 right now. Are you taking 4 into training camp with you? Do you need to take 4?
You mean 4 quarterbacks or the number 4?
4 quarterbacks. No. Number 4, he's with you for a while. 4 quarterbacks, I wonder. And I keep going back to the idea that if you have your starter, Shedeur, Deshaun, the other's the backup, no more reps are being divvied out. Because you just don't have enough time. And I know they've given Monken and the gang more time for practices because he's new. But even then, I want more time as a Browns fan devoted to QB1. And so maybe he'll tell them through those kinds of reps, but I wonder if it's not just better to say, he's our 1, he's our backup, here's how we're going through the rest of July and into August.
I just can't wait, Bo, till you come back tomorrow and you tell us officially what number Dylan Gabriel is wearing. Like, is he going to be wearing 95? We know that's available, but I just can't wait to know the mystery here of Dylan Gabriel's number, because I mean,
that's a wild one.
If you listened to everybody, you wouldn't even know Dylan's still there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that tells you how they view him in terms of the starter. That doesn't mean that he can't be a very viable backup and potentially the backup. Because being the backup means you're preparing, not only you helping prepare the team, but you're also preparing the quarterback. And so, who's the starter? So there's that component of it too. I think even if they don't say it, they have to know it before they open camp, because Shedeur and Deshaun are 2 very different players and very different skill sets. And you're going to want to cater it to either one, whichever one wins the job. The easiest thing would be Shedeur, because he's a 5th-round pick and he's under contract for a long time. If it's Deshaun, it's much more complicated because he can be a free agent after next year. So that's something else that you got to consider with all of these things. Jeremy Fowler's been all over this from ESPN. He'll join us in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
When you saw your heating bills this winter, did you think this is out of control? The problem is your house is leaking money, and the only thing higher than your heating bills are your cooling bills. Steve here from USA Insulation. Let us fix your energy bill problem for good. If you aren't foam insulated, you really aren't insulated. For $99 a month, interest-free, we'll foam your home and help cut those energy bills. 529-2440 or USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Scotty Vegas here, and my wife caught me in the garage just staring at my beautiful new Bronco from Krieger Ford. I mean, I'm in love. The buying process at Krieger Ford was amazing. Quick, no pressure, fun, in and out so fast I couldn't believe it. I was prepared to spend all day looking at cars. Instead, I got my shiny new red Bronco out of the showroom in no time. If you're looking for a new car for the summer, visit Krieger Ford on Morse Road. Krieger Ford is my winning bet. Visit KriegerFord.com today.
Common Man here. Join me June 20th for the Common Man Mile at this year's Fan 5K in Westerville. Get signed up at 971therace.com.
The 97.1 The Fan 5K is presented by Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, and the Common Man Mile is sponsored by Rose Pest Solutions. Rose Pest Solutions has been protecting Columbus homes and businesses for over 165 years. Got a pest problem? Rose is the solution. Call 800-966-ROSE or visit rosepestsolutions.com.
Hey, it's Anthony. Did you know that 1 in 4 men over 40 have low testosterone? You can get your levels back with Low T Center. They tailor their TRT to every man to make sure his levels are where they need to be. Go to fixmylowt.com and book your free testosterone test.
At Bank of America, we support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge. What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The friends are the guests and listeners. Reeser and Baker just work here.
Back to work. Back to work. Everybody, work, 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 work.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
And join us for the Fan 5K presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center. It's a 5K run, 1 mile walk. It's happening Saturday, June 20th at Otterbein. Some of your favorite fan personalities will be there. Brother Bone will be there. Nephew Tyvus will be there. Man will be there. Timmy will be there. Reese will be there. 10 TV's Adam King. I didn't realize that she was called Nene. The Dom calls her Nene. Nicole Sheeran will be there as well running the race. Every participant gets a finisher's medal, a race shirt, free photos, awesome gifts from Logan Services. The Fan 5K is presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center. Sign up today at 971therace.com. Weren't able to connect with Jeremy, is that correct? Not able to. That's a shame. I was texting with him last night, so things happen. Things happen in life, and sometimes you miss some things. So we apologize for that, and we'll see if we can get him back on relatively soon. The reason I want to have him on, other than the fact, so he's the guy. If you guys remember this, he is the guy that Urban went out. That's when I first knew of him. He was in Florida. I want to say he was at the Tampa Tribune or the Orlando Sentinel. I cannot remember, but in that famous press conference that Urban had. But he's been on top of this NFL stuff, and especially the AFC North for a very, very long time. Wrote a piece last week, maybe the week before, around the Browns with the quarterbacks and Deshaun Watson and all of that, and has kind of been an AFC North expert here for a little while. And there's been a lot going on that front. And he joins us now on the Brian Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Jeremy Fowler, ESPN senior NFL reporter, joining us there. Let's start, buddy, and I appreciate your time greatly. Let's start with the Brown quarterback situation and how they got here, where you have a 3-day mini camp. For the longest time, it felt like Deshaun was at the front runner of it. Shedeur seemed like he had a good week last week. Where are you with where they are at the quarterback position heading into minicamp that starts today?
Well, it's my understanding that the Browns will use this as a, part of the test that both quarterbacks, Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson, need to pass. But they're not making any decisions this week, is my understanding. They're going to wait and let this play out through part of camp. Now, I think they could have a bit of a pecking order when they get to camp as far as who gets ones and who gets twos, but I think they're going to let this play out because both quarterbacks have had their good moments. I still think Deshaun has a leg up at the end of the day, but I sense that Shedeur has given him something to think about, that he's been pretty good and has a presence about him. The good news for Deshaun Watson is he's been moving well. Coming off that Achilles, that was a big concern. Mobility is a big part of his game if he still has it. And he's been moving pretty well. So they like where the quarterback battle is at. They've actually been pretty pleased and are happy they didn't go with like a Band-Aid route of signing another veteran. They feel like this is kind of bringing the best out of both players.
Yeah, Todd said last week that he feels like they got 2 starters if they have to. Let's be real candid here. It would be much easier if it's Shedeur. He's a 5th-round pick. He's under team control. The compensation is set. That's an easy one. If it's Deshaun, it's a little more complicated. He can be a free agent after last year. I've seen him firsthand, Jeremy. I know you have as well. He looks great. I also think it's probably true, and I'm curious where you come down on this, that if the coaching change doesn't happen, I don't really know what they do with Deshaun Watson, because I didn't see a path for him getting back to the field with the previous regime. I think this Monken thing has kind of given him a breath of fresh air. What is kind of your understanding about that and the way that this has played out with Monken and Deshaun potentially getting the second opportunity here?
Yeah, certainly Deshaun seizes that or wants to seize it because he feels like Todd Monken's offense is a better fit for him. Kevin Stefanski and Deshaun Watson had a good relationship, probably better than people think, but the system of, the West Coast principles, the play action from under center, 3-step, 5-step drops, throw a hitch, that's good for a lot of quarterbacks and makes it easy. But Deshaun's style, at least in Houston when he was thriving, was a little different. He likes to be able to create a little bit and have some wide open space. And, Monken's got the college influence and some air raid principles in his offense and can kind of adapt to the quarterback that he has. And, if the Browns could just get 80% of what he was, that's pretty good, and he's still a pretty young guy, and he's in a contract year, so he should be motivated. So, a lot of things align. If you want to go with the veteran and think that it's going to give you a little bit of a better chance, then certainly Deshaun has a case for that. So I do think it's a better fit for both him and the Browns in his last year for sure.
Jeremy, do you think either one of these guys can be a backup?
As in, can it be a backup this year?
To the other one. Yeah, the other one.
That's a great question. They're going to have to be, I think. Well,
right.
Look, the thing with Shedeur is he's a 5th-round pick. I mean, in most cases, 5th-round picks and on are backups in the NFL. Mm-hmm. There are very few exceptions. So, Shedeur has had his moments, but he's not really considered a high-level quarterback. That's just the way it is. I mean, that's the way the league looked at him. Now, maybe he can overcome that. I think last year, he had some moments, but it was a mixed bag too. So I don't think he's in a position of power where, he's young enough, only in his second year, where if he has to be the backup, it might only be for this year. And maybe he can get another chance at it again next year. You're right about the contractual control. If he really shows you something over the next few months, you got a young rookie that you can build around and not have to pay him, which is a good luxury. So, but the thing with Deshaun is he's already made all his money. It's all guaranteed. I think there is some motivation there to try to salvage the trade a little bit. I mean, they want to win games before everything else, but it would be a nice luxury or a nice sidebar for them if they can put a nice bow at the end of this trade. It's been just an avalanche of problems and injuries and bad play. And, if you can get some out of it, that's good. Because you can't trade them. And it's just there are only so many things you can do with him. I don't know how he would function as the backup. That's a good question. I mean, I think he would handle it better than people think. I think he'd be okay with it. But you're also making $46 million to be the backup too. So that kind of alleviates some problems.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Talking to ESPN senior NFL reporter Jeremy Fowler on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We're a week and a day since the trade of Myles Garrett. How out of the blue, if at all, did that one hit you a week ago Monday when the rumblings started to become pretty real that was going to happen?
Yeah, it was interesting. That one was a bit of a slow burn. When they made the contract adjustment in late March, I mean, that did pique my interest, but I never really heard anything hard and fast. It really sounds like for the last 2 weeks before the trade, they'd really been drilling down on this, So it's one of those where, as a reporter, you wish you knew a little more. But it kind of, over the weekend and Monday morning, there were some rumblings for sure. So trying to make sense of it all was a process, and I still didn't believe it. It's one of those I'll believe it when I see it situation. But it's really emblematic of where the league's at. You know, blockbuster trades are the thing. You know, the Browns, when they did the deal, they did comps for all the recent trades for non-quarterback superstars, and the list is really long. There are a ton of players that are being dealt now. So, like, there really isn't anybody in the league that's untouchable unless it's a Mahomes or a Josh Allen. Like, really a select few quarterbacks. I feel like everybody else is pretty much tradable.
Yeah, I think so, and even those guys sometimes are too. First time I became aware of your work was down in Florida when you were covering the Gators, I believe at the Sentinel, if I remember right. And I'm curious from your vantage point now, when you see this Brendan Sorsby news that happens yesterday, because Jeremy, that was always the one thing. Like, the gambling was the one thing that you usually couldn't find a way around until now. How did that news hit you yesterday as someone who covered the sport and now covers the NFL at the level that you do, because there's a supplemental draft component to it and everything else that I thought this was really all about? How did that news hit you yesterday?
Well, it was mildly surprising because I think teams were preparing for the supplemental draft and thinking he would be available, you know, and he would have definitely been scooped up, probably with a second-round pick value in the supplemental draft, which is a little bit different. You don't see a lot of first-rounders for that. But he has late first-round talent from multiple teams I've talked to. You know, he's got a live, effortless arm, make all the throws, athletic, all those things. So, but at the same time, it's one of those things where college is the Wild West right now. You don't really have any sort of collective bargaining, which is when this kind of thing comes in handy. So you're at the mercy of an injunction, and it's messy. It's just another example of the problems that college football does have, where you can't really legislate this thing right now. And even though it's pretty obvious where the negative influence of a player betting on his own games can be, or betting on any football in general. So it's a problem, and it's something that teams are going to vet really over the next 10 months. I imagine when he interviews next February at the NFL Combine with all these teams, you know, they're going to grill him on it, and they also get another year of tape on him. So it's actually good for teams from that standpoint. But it's a problem for the game of college football more so than the NFL.
Jeremy, I'll get you out of here on this one. On the teams that you talk to, or the folks that you talk to around the league, did they believe that he would face some sort of punitive penalty from the NFL for this transgression if he were not allowed to play college football, much like Terrell Pryor did when he entered the supplemental draft?
I didn't hear much on that, not that I'm aware of right now. Certainly that could have been on the table, and that could have played a role in his overall value as far as what pick you designate for him in the supplemental draft. But I didn't hear a lot of concerns about it. When I would ask teams about him, they would just highlight his strengths as a player. So it seems like because he's at least trying to correct it and he got ahead of it a little bit, that did help him in the court of public opinion, at least a little bit. Doesn't make it right, but he did help himself.
Really enjoyed it, Jeremy. Thank you so much for your time. Greatly appreciated.
Hey, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, there he goes. Jeremy Fowler, ESPN senior NFL reporter, joining us on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We'll do three things on a Tuesday up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly. Hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Amazon Business. Discover smart business buying where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. AmazonBusiness.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. If your air conditioner never seems to turn off, worn-out windows could be the culprit. Broken seals and old frames let your cool air escape, and with summer just getting started, it's only going to get hotter. Upgrade your house's windows now during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale. Imagine replacing all your windows and getting half of them for free. Plus, you could even get them with no money down and no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. Built with top-quality materials, insulated glass, and precision seals, Window Nation's windows fit perfectly and lock in the air. Upgrade today, and your home will stay cooler this summer and warmer in the winter. Plus, your home stays comfortable year-round, and you could even see lower energy bills the first month. They're so good, Window Nation offers a lifetime warranty, and they're rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Save big with Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale going on now. Sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com to book a consultation. That's windownation.com. Window Nation, a proud partner of Wounded Warrior Project.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hello, I'm Ozempic. And I'm other GLP-1s, kind of like him. Hey, are you shaking a maraca? No, I'm shaking the pill version of Ozempic, which no one should ever do except in ads like this. A nice disclaimer. Hey, thanks. Ask your doctor about which FDA-approved uses of the Ozempic pen or pill may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide tablets, 9 milligrams, and Ozempic semaglutide injection, 2 milligrams.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken 180. Increase flexibility, strength, and endurance. Breaking 100, 90, even 80 could be just 40 pounds away. Results this summer with the solution for weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
Whether you're repping the orange and brown or shouting Hoo Day, the ultimate football pilgrimage is closer than you think. Ditch the living room, get the family on the road, and make the short drive to greatness and visit the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. From the backyard to the gridiron, it's the one place where every fan comes together to create new family memories. Make it a weekend to remember and see why Ohio truly is the heart of football. Visit ProFootballHof.com and plan your visit today.
I take care of the kids, my dad, things at work, but I haven't made time to take care of what I need.
Millions of caregivers experience symptoms of anxiety and depression. Go to mentalhealthcareworks.org to learn how to get the support you deserve. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Morning Juice is now on YouTube weekday mornings starting at 6. If you're a fan of Bobby Carpenter, he's ready to attack and dominate. If you're a fan of Jeff Goodoff, drive directly to a hospital. Seriously, The Fan.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and $2 tall boys. All day, every day.
When General Sherman marched through Georgia, he was listening to this show.
Use your skills for good, young warrior.
This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what are you on the poll today?
Daily Fan Poll sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub. It asks, in light of the Brendan Sorsby news, should college teams band together and refuse to play Texas Tech? 88% of respondents say yes. Ban the Red Raiders.
I get the outrage. I certainly get it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just in the minority on this. I really think, and I understand like the integrity of it. I get all of that, but like, there's been so many violent things that guys have done and they get to come back. And again, I think to me, I just have to separate. Like, I am just so stunned that this happened because this was always the one thing you couldn't do. Like, I'm going this eyes wide open. I'm aware that you can do a whole lot of things in this, in sport. If you're good at sport, you can get away with a lot. This was the one thing that you couldn't. But at the same time, like, I don't need Sorsby being the villain of college football here over the next year if he does in fact play it.
But we've talked about the way to stop this is somebody, whether it's a coach, an athletic director, a conference, somebody has to step up and say no. If everybody says no to Texas Tech, nobody will do it.
Well, that's true. And also, though, say no to the rest of it. All of it. I guess my issue is let's not have gambling being the only line we won't cross. And every other line we can blow through, but now this is one where we can't play Texas Tech.
And I'm with you on that, and I wish we would be harder on some of that stuff, but this is the integrity of the game. Like,
it is.
Why are you playing them if it's fixed from the beginning?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's why this was always the cardinal sin and the one thing you couldn't do. Time for three things on a Tuesday. Hit it, guys.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
So the boys, all three boys are at day one of club lacrosse camp this week. So now our summer, which leads us to Maryland and Virginia and all places in between and ridiculously sweaty turf fields. I'm going to tell you what, you don't know heat until you've been in like Maryland in July. That is a level of heat and humidity you can't even wrap your head around. But it all started, and it's obviously hot and it's humid. And sending them off today, there was excitement. Pretty excited to be able to do it, and they've been doing some stuff, and they're kind of used to it. But from like 8:45 to 5 p.m., it's one thing for the two bigs. Bootsy was pretty peaked walking in there. I cannot wait to see what they look like by the time this thing is all done at the end of the day. They were going to be just covered and drenched in sweat, and my guess is completely gassed.
So one of the fun things that we do every year is live shows from Ohio State's training camp. The Buckeyes announced they're going to be holding 3 open to the public August 6th, 7th, and 8th. You can get tickets now. They went on sale earlier this morning. $48 for general admission, $143 for VIP access. It's going to be on a first-come, first-served basis. It's, if not on a short list of smartest things a college program has done in the last 5 years.
Yeah, it's an NFL training camp is what it is.
First thing for me, we talked a little bit about a lot of the great broadcasters that call games here in the state of Ohio yesterday, and there is none better than the man right here in our building in one Paul Keels, the voice of the Buckeyes, and over the weekend saw that he was inducted into Ohio's Basketball Hall of Fame, a 14-member class, and I don't know how many broadcasting Hall of Fames there are out there, but Paul Keels should be in all of them.
I think he's probably on his way, and well-deserved, of course, from the Big Daddy. Number 2 for me, and Quiz, here you go. So you can be happy now. Last week, the Denison men's baseball team won the national championship. Great job out of them for getting that done, so congratulations to all that are involved on that side of thing, and thank you, Quiz, for passing it along.
More baseball for my second thing. They put the A's and the Brewers last night in a Las Vegas ballpark, the Las Vegas ballpark, a minor league field south of the Strip. It was the first of a series, the Las Vegas series that they're going to play. 8,500 fans were in attendance. Milwaukee won 15-14 in 12 innings. 11 home runs were hit between both teams, and they wondered, does this mean Las Vegas would work for a Major League Baseball site? No, this is a novelty, where they scored 15 runs in a game, the winning team did, in a minor league ballpark.
Well, did they hit the home runs because
it's a minor league ballpark?
The pitching sucked, or because the ballpark's dimensions were small?
Both.
How much smaller is a minor league ballpark dimensions from a big league ballpark?
Shorter porches, but yeah, it's not an apples to oranges comparison.
What is that? That's the Vegas. What is that team? Is it the Vegas Aces?
I think that is right. I think it is the Aces. I think that's correct.
Or is that the
Vegas
Las
Aces?
Vegas Aces baseball.
Or Vegas Aviators, excuse me.
Oh, they used to be the Aces. No, the WNBA team's the Aces.
So yeah, they used to be the Las Vegas 51s.
That's what I remember.
And then in 2019, they became the Las Vegas Aviators. They were the Las Vegas Stars from 83 to 2000.
I mean, they could have been the Vegas Aces. That would have been the one for the baseball team, and they could have kept the A the same and all of that.
So, Bo, funny that you went Denison, because that was going to be my second thing. So I'll pivot to another baseball story. Right. This was pretty cool. This was back in the middle of May, so it was almost a month ago. But a couple was going to an Arizona Diamondbacks game, and they showed up a night early. They thought their tickets were for Tuesday night. Well, they were for Wednesday night. So since they were there already, they ended up buying 2 tickets out in left field pretty close to where their original tickets were. And they ended up catching a home run from San Francisco Giants player Willie Adames. So they came back the next night with their original tickets. And again, they were very close. They caught another Willie Adames home run. Back-to-back nights, 2 home run balls from the same guy.
Man, go to Vegas. Or I guess you don't have to anymore. But that's pretty lucky and to be able to have that. Number 3, and finally for me, watch Dom tonight on Channel 10. His final sportscast, regularly scheduled sportscast, will be tonight. If memory serves and my clock remains pretty accurate, I would imagine around 6:18, something like that, that you'll get that final sportscast from Uncle Dommy.
Final thing for me, Game 4, the Stanley Cup Final tonight. I think I'm now rooting for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Why?
For this to go to a 7-game series.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing that whole newscast tonight, you may just want to tune in at 6 because the whole thing might be Dom Tiberi. Last thing for me, Rothman and Ice coming up next. We talked about Browns OTAs beginning. They're going to have Jeff Lloyd from the Orange and Brown Report on to talk some Browns, and Joel Batonio as well. 1:30 for that.
By the way, the Tiberi jersey was a 10 from the Blue Jackets pick.
Okay.
So
very cool.
Yeah. Very, very cool. Good job out of Todd Schrock and all the guys with the Blue Jackets. Going to be a big day here around. Stay tuned. Keep it locked here. Keep it locked on Channel 10. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead.
Our condolences. You're home of the Buckeyes.
The